What's happening, weirdos? This is my chat with the incredible Kerri Kenney. She is incredible. I'm so happy that she took the time to come by. I've been a big fan of hers for a long time, obviously from Reno 911, Wanderlust, which we talk about quite a bit, and anything and everything she's ever been in, forever, until the end of time. Speaking of which, Reno 911, It's a Wonderful Heist is going to be premiering on Comedy Central on December 3rd. So that means we have new Reno 911 episodes coming out with the incredible Kerri in them. Obviously, I'm going to say it, reprising her iconic role. So be sure to check that out, Comedy Central, December 3rd. And also, I am currently on tour. Thank you to everybody that came out to Toronto, Atlantic City, and Boston, and Chicago. Next up is San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Washington, D.C. I should be adding more dates. I know I'm going to be coming to Vancouver, which is actually where I am right now, in case you're watching the video and noticing that I am in a hotel room. Yes, I am. But I'll be coming here, excuse me, I'll be coming here to do stand-up shortly. So look for that date. It will also be on PeteHolmes.com. So I'm excited for all of these shows and hope you guys can come out. It is always great when weirdos are there. And if you like this show, as I always say, why not try a Peter's Pick? I'm going to say Peter's Pick this time. Pete's Picks, things that I actually use and I actually love. Speaking of actually use and actually love, of course, I'm wearing my perfect jeans right now. These are my absolute favorite pants in the world. And no lie, this week I needed a couple new pairs and I went on and used my own promo code. That's how hard of a Pete's Pick this Pete's Pick is. Perfect jeans. As you know, I hate a hard pant. I don't understand why we can't just live in comfortable, soft pants. But honestly, the problem is they often don't look very good. Well, enter the perfect jean. They look great. They look like designer, wonderfully stylish, perfect fitting. They have them in slim, they have them in skinny, they have them in all different styles. So they look amazing, but they are super soft and made with flexible fabric that look so good, no one needs to know. I got tired of wearing yoga pants in public like I was Phil Collins. I couldn't pull it off, so I got the perfect jean, and they are the best pants I've ever owned. I just rotate through pairs of perfect jeans. I haven't taken them off since they arrived, and that was years ago. And point of fact, one of the things I love about them, I'm tired of spending good, hard-earned money on jeans, and then they rip, they tear, they wear out. Perfect jeans are the longest-lasting jeans I've ever had in my life, and that's probably because of the premium stretch fabric. It's 2% spandex, 2.5% rayon for extra comfort and movement that your man parts require. These jeans stretch so your nuts ain't crushed, thereby providing the only true home for your bone. They're so soft, they're literally as soft as a baby's butt, and you may even forget that you're wearing pants. And as I mentioned, maximum durability. These are incredibly well-made, constructed, utilizing the highest quality materials and sewing techniques to provide you with a product that is built to last. That is facts. And best of all, they're not khakis. Fuck wearing khakis. Fuck your khakis. Spare your nuts. The perfect jean for the perfectly imperfect men, just $60 when you use code WEIRDO at checkout. At theperfectjean.nyc. Liberate your lower limbs with the one and only Perfect Jean, whether you're working with lemons or lentils, a 3-leaf clover, or a big ol' honkin' eggplant. The Perfect Jean has you covered. Take a peek at www.theperfectjean.nyc. That's theperfectjean.nyc. Use code WEIRDO for 25% off at checkout and show your support for your body, your zones, and for this podcast. Theperfectjean.nyc, code WEIRDO. This podcast is also brought to us by our friends at Blue Microphones. Do you love podcasts? Sure you do. Maybe you've been thinking about starting a podcast. Maybe you want to record an album or do voiceover for that cartoon series that you've had kicking around in your noggin that you want to upload to YouTube. Well, great. How do you get going? How do you get sound that is incredible, in studio quality without paying huge studio costs? Well, don't worry. Our friends at Blue Microphones has got you covered. For the first years of this podcast, we recorded the first 100, I don't know, on Blue's most famous mic, their most simple mic too, which is the Blue, they're all simple, but it's like a standalone Blue Yeti USB mic that plugs straight into your computer, and boom, I was off and running starting the podcast. Makes it really, really easy to sound great, even if you're new to recording. It's the only USB mic that I've also found that has different settings. Right on the back, there's a knob for sitting solo, so it's pointing right at you, sitting across from somebody, so it's pointing in two directions, or omnidirectional when you want to record every sound in the room. So cool, and I haven't seen that anywhere but on the Blue Yeti. Made by the same company that has made high-end studio mics that have been used on lots and lots of big hit records. Blue has been around for more than 20 years, and today Blue is part of Logitech for creators, and we record this podcast on Blue Sona XLR mic, which is also incredibly simple, but it has an XLR cord. It's not a direct into your computer USB. We do it with the big boy stuff, the big boy cable. So if you want to up it and get even more professional quality, Blue has you covered with their Blue Sona XLR. We record We Made It Weird. Val and I have them on the arms, the extending arms on our desk, and we love them. They sound so fantastic. So Blue has evolved with the show as we have grown as well. Sounds fantastic, and you can show your support of the show by giving your next audio project a try. So go to bluemic.com and use code WEIRD for a special deal on any Blue microphone. That's the Blue Sona, that's the Blue Yeti, whatever you see there, just use code WEIRD at checkout. That's bluemic.com. Show your support of the show and get that project up and running. Let's do it. Get into it. All right, everybody. I really, really hope you enjoy Kerri. She was so fun. You're about to see or listen to one of the most fun conversations I've had. Definitely check out Reno 911 in December on Comedy Central. And in the meantime, enjoy this chat with my new friend, Kerri. Get into it. Here we go. Ho, ho, ho. Keep it. Oh, the screen? Don't even worry about the screen.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Here we go.
Elsa, Anna.
God, that was my exercise for the month. I wasn't asked to sit down.
What are you, a vampire? You have to be invited? You're a tall drink of water.
I am. I'm long.
Well, this couch is perfect for you.
Yeah. I love
you
a
look
deep.
totally normal on this.
Yes, say it, because I say it.
I love a deep couch.
I love a deep couch.
We have a deep couch at home,
Yeah.
and I secretly do love when my short friends come and their little feet dangle.
Do you know Melissa Rauch by any chance? Rauch Pouch, I call her.
I know her, but I
She's
don't.
about
yeah.
this tall.
Yeah.
And I mean, she made those jokes. She had like a ventriloquist
Yeah.
dummy, like dangling off the knee
Yeah.
of the ventriloquist the
sure.
whole time. But you look like a normal human person.
Thank you.
Which is
That's
great.
the first time I've been called that,
Excuse me, normal human
and I
person.
need it so bad.
Right? I mean, I feel
I
it.
do.
And you can cross, and you can even put your shoes on it. Don't worry.
Oh, the things I can do on this couch.
That's kind of a weird
We haven't
synchronicity.
even scratched the surface of the things that I can do on this couch. Thank you for the double mic, because it's going to be loud what I'm going to do on this couch. Bing. Cheers.
I just did a club this weekend,
Yes.
and they gave me a gift, and it was a doctor. What are we good? I heard cursing under your breath.
Jesus.
Oh,
Damn
she's like,
it.
relax.
She's like, is this how it's going to be the whole time?
This is Katie and I's first podcast together. I yell at her so much.
Well, it's obvious why. No offense, Katie, but pull it together.
Very clear why Katie gets.
Is this an internship for Katie?
It's an unpaid 10, 12-year internship.
Sorry, Katie.
She's been interning. What's sad
You'll
is you
get there.
probably could. Like, show business is so... You could find someone to be like, produce my podcast for free.
100%.
For 10 years.
And for 10 years.
And for 10 years. You'd be like, as soon as you quit, there's like a long line.
I feel like that's sort of like, I think a lot of people have that situation
I think this industry is built on,
with the promise of.
yes. Well, that was UCB's dill pickle. Do you remember UCB's dill
No,
pickle?
no.
I still bring it up like it's current. But they got in trouble because they were not in trouble, but people were making a right fuss. When
Yes.
they're British. A right
Right.
fuss.
There's a dust up.
Liking a bit of a dust
Roy,
spot.
Roy.
Is this British?
This is a British accent. I'm Amy
Can you help
Winehouse.
me? This is Cockney. That's
Yes.
what it is. It's more of a Cockney, which
Right.
we all say, but we don't know what that means.
No.
Oh, from Cockenshire?
From Cockiness.
Cockiness.
Cockness.
Cockness.
The Cockness monster. No, I have
Somebody
all the
calls their
accents.
ding dong the Cockness
I was supposed to do a movie last year, and they just assumed I could do an Australian accent, and I was like,
Brutal. I just did an audition recently, and the character was from Pittsburgh, and I just said at the top, I went, I
Pittsburgh.
I can't yet do the accent. Like, it would take me many hours.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like, I didn't say this, but I wanted to be like, I don't want to do that for the audition. I was like, just look at my face.
Right.
See if I'm funny.
is this something
Is
you
this
might
what you
like at
want?
your set?
Could you imagine repositioning the cameras for this height? And if you can, then I'll learn the Pittsburgh accent. And I think it was a mistake.
What, that you didn't do the accent was a
Well,
mistake?
The idea in showbiz that people can overlook things or use
Yes.
their imaginations. I always think, I'm not putting down anybody I audition for, by the way. I just think that's never a safe bet. Like you
Right.
audition for something and the crowd is bad. Like you have to do a live audition and
Right.
the crowd's bad. Don't worry, they know who's fun. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They're fucking ding dongs.
No, they don't.
They're ding dong ring dongs.
No, if you're
Cockness
if
monsters.
you are going to audition for a doctor, don't wear an eye patch.
Unless it's for scurvy.
I learned it the hard way. No.
You learned that the hard way?
No. I just thought
You
that'd be a fun thing for you to imagine.
Tell me
That I-
your early auditions. Tell me
I
some
have
early
the best.
auditions. Oh
Okay,
my
I have
God,
the, I have the
really?
best.
Can't wait.
And on my life,
Your
I die on
Lord's
the way
honor.
home. No.
You
on
die at
my,
the end?
No, on my life, this happened.
Okay, I can't wait.
I have
Okay, pause.
Okay.
Because I just want to...
reposition the
No,
cameras.
I just want to rebuild the cameras. I just want to
Yes.
feel how I feel right now because I'm so excited.
Yes.
Like legit.
I will not let you down.
I don't think you will.
not gonna let you
And
down.
how often in life are you like, this is gonna be it?
This is it.
So don't rush it.
Okay, I'll
That's all I'm
I'll
saying.
take my time.
Okay. Do you want a water?
No.
Do you want a Magic Mind productivity drink?
Thank you.
Okay, keep going. No, that was a
love
really
it.
weird
I
space. Do
just love
you want
it.
some Advil?
I just love that you're so excited. You're like, should we
excited.
recarpet? Let's recarpet
let's
the room.
do you want to recarpet the room? Somebody said I should do rubber floors in here. I was like, what
Should
is
we
this, a
move the
sex
couch?
dungeon? I'm not going to
Who
do a rubber.
suggested that?
My friend Judah was like, rubber floors are really cool right now.
Is he a serial killer?
Yeah.
He should not be allowed.
Listen to this voice
that
and listen
fast.
to his carpet preference. He's definitely. Can I say real quick?
Please.
I wanted to like Dexter, and then
I
when
thought you were going to say I wanted to like my friend Jude. I don't like. We're
I
breaking
love
up.
Judah Miller.
Yes. Oh, you wanted to like Dexter, but you didn't.
Can I tell you why? Because I
Please.
want to know your thoughts.
Please.
I thought he was going to go around like axing people or like murdering them. But
Yes.
as soon as he had them strapped to a table and being like, welcome, I was like, fuck you.
No.
It's like the worst kind of serial killer. The torture, dissecting whack job with the clean room with the saran wrap.
I know. What was that
Misusing
for? Like
saran wrap.
pre-med students? Maybe
That's
we're
ex-
the audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who wrote this? A pre-med student?
I tried to watch it too. I shouldn't say I tried to watch it. I watched it. All,
did watch it.
But I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Well, that's a modern phenomenon.
Yeah.
You just guzzle it down.
I guzzled it down.
Guzzle it down.
And it's not that modern. I mean, this was a while ago, this show.
I mean, I think since The Sopranos, we've been binging.
I still don't balk when it's on a greatest shows of all time list, but at the same time, it's like, I don't remember. I love him.
Okay, can I smoke
yes.
your jokey right now?
Please, it's your place. Smoke it.
I want to first of all acknowledge that Kevin Spacey is a flawed person and
Okay.
has to reckon for his mistakes.
I'm glad we're all, okay, finally. Yeah, please. No. This is what we should be talking about. Please. Please, it's time to say it. It's time. Finally, somebody said it.
You knew when you did this podcast, you were going to hear me weigh in
It was
on
in the email.
Kevin Spacey.
It was in the email. You emailed me and said,
do you want to do my podcast where I weigh in on Kevin Spacey?
time for
Question mark?
a pie in the face for that Spacey. It's time. And no one better to talk about it than you, Kerry.
And he has that, I think it's a handsome crease here, but if you hit him with a pie in the face, he'd be finding pie in that
Sure
crease
he would.
for a while.
Sure.
Take that, Spacey.
Right. Take that.
I think it's distinguished.
Yeah.
That men are so lucky that you can have like just like a handprint on your face, and people are like, he looks rugged. He looks like my dad.
Oh, totally.
And
Or
women have like a pimple, and you're like,
totally.
disgusting.
Yeah. No, she should not come out of her house.
Yes, get this beast back in her.
In her hole.
I'm not endorsing it. I'm doing an impression of these people.
Okay.
Anyway, so Kevin Spacey, flawedness noted.
Yes.
Can we put that here?
Sure.
I was in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have HBO Max. Couldn't watch White Lotus. They didn't have. I wouldn't watch it without my wife anyway. What are you kidding?
Please, what are you kidding?
That's leavable.
You'd be in the doghouse, which is probably this room.
This is
This is a great couch for hanging out.
This is
not
where
for
I
sleeping.
would sleep if we were on the rocks.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, no.
Sad.
There's not even a rubber floor to hose down in the morning.
Which you would need.
Sure.
Because you're
If you
so
suck your-
sad.
'cause you're so-
But you are. I don't know if we're there yet. If we're gonna make jack off jokes.
Yeah. Oh, we're there. Again, it was in the email.
Do you want to hear me make rubber floor jack off jokes? But it's not. It's better than that. It's a guy who's so sad he can't. He has to just on the floor, and then he hoses it once a week.
Well,
and you better come the day after.
We're putting that in. We're putting that in our house right now.
Oh, I
It's
thought
a
you meant
remodel.
in the episode.
Oh, it's in the episode already.
We could copy that moment and just paste it every 15 minutes.
Yeah, like why did she keep bringing that up? It's so weird. She went in like first 30 seconds. She's talking about jacking off on his rubber floor.
First of all, jacking off
player.
is the funniest way to say it. It's like a jacking off. Like that is.
What is that?
Jack
I
hammering?
love.
Tell me.
I love word and phrase origin. I love it.
Oh, etymology. What's the etymology of
I never
etymology?
say it because it always ends up as either etymame or entomology.
Oh, yeah. And what's entomology? Study of
bugs,
living trees?
Trees.
I'm an ent.
Bugs.
Bugs, okay.
Is it etymology?
Well, now you just see if someone hums the theme to Superman, you can't remember the theme to
let's ask
Indiana
your
Jones.
intern.
Do you understand?
Etymology.
The
origin of a word.
Etymology.
Etymology.
Just think of Ed Harris going, you want to know where that word comes from? Just Ed Harris.
I think we're all thinking that. Pause. Let's have a moment of silence. For He's very much with us.
Wait, he's alive.
Yeah.
Harris is live.
Yeah. Why can't we have a moment of silence for people that are still alive?
While they can not hear it.
Right. Because he's going to be listening to this.
Icy Blue,
What was my point?
you were saying
Wow.
you love jack off, like where things come from. Where things come from.
Yeah, where things come from.
Yeah.
There's one.
Jack off.
We don't ever talk about that.
Jackhammering? So jacking means this,
Do you
like
think?
this? Well, a jackhammer goes like this.
Sure.
And jack, and then maybe it might
Jack
be donkeys
off?
are like jack. What are they? Jacks?
J-
What is a donkey? Is a jack and a jenny?
jackass.
A jack and a jenny. A jackass. That's
Yeah.
what it is. And a
Jack-
jenny ass.
but that would be jack off.
And who's jacking off to jackasses?
Right. Well,
or
probably
the show
some
Jackass.
people.
Somebody
Oh, for
comes
sure.
real hard
Have you
watching
seen Knoxville these days?
squirting. Oh yeah, he's an old babe.
Yeah.
And we're back to face crease.
See this?
Knoxville is one of those dudes where you're like,
Full circle.
I don't care.
I know.
I'm not saying he's haggard. I'm just saying like the
he's
older
great. He's aging very well. I
So-
just played his lover.
get in the car. What do you mean?
We didn't, there was no.
There were no
nothing,
cameras.
Nothing happened. There was no cameras. It was a role play game. No, for Reboot. I made a couple episodes of Reboot, but
fun.
he is. I play his lovers. Spoiler alert, guys. If you have,
It's okay.
If you have
He
the
has a
Hulu,
lover.
Sure.
And we do have Hulu, which does bring me back to Canada, and they don't have Hulu. Mm-hmm. So you know what I watched?
yes. Okay, yes,
I watched
what?
House of Cards. Oh. This is a long. I know it's really good. Look.
What are we doing? Are we separating the artist from the? What
Look,
are we doing?
You know what? I've been thinking about this a lot.
Yeah.
I hear Michael Jackson constant. I'm not even trying. We're just playing it.
We're playing it.
There is a level. Forget it.
Forget
it's
it.
too spicy to
It's
talk
too
about
spicy.
this.
It's too spicy. Maybe we'll circle back.
Let's put a pin in it.
Okay.
Because no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah. I'm going to keep pointing to my assistant who isn't here offset. We're going to put a pin
Whose
in it.
name? It's Johnny Knoxville. That's weird.
Johnny, put a pin
He
in it.
was so taken with you playing his lover that he was like, "Can I
Follow
be
me
your
home.
assistant?"
Weird. Married, children, me too. But somehow, professionally, he's
Jeff
like,
Bridges
can I be
also.
your intern? Yeah.
Babe, old babe.
Oh, total old babe.
Yeah. Did you watch Old Man?
Not yet.
Opens with him having to get up like 5 times to pee,
Yeah.
and you're still like, it's a sexy guy
like,
struggling
I
with
would.
his prostrate.
Right.
See, I said prostrate.
Prostrate.
I have prostrate
Right, you have
cancer. I only have
prostrate.
cancer when I lay down. That's a dark riff.
Put a pin in that.
Put it, Johnny.
Mark that.
Let's mark that to edit it out.
Okay, back to
JK.
my audition story, which you were going to love.
I can't. Oh, do you think for a second?
Yes.
This whole little cinnamon swirl.
Wasn't.
I wasn't going like, what are we getting back to?
No.
I'm in line for Space Mountain right now.
Yes. Oh, that didn't go well for me the first time.
Space
Do you
Mountain?
love Space Mountain?
I do love Space Mountain. I think roller coasters are harder for the very tall. First of all, Space Mountain, the thrill, old Walt Disney, all 4'9" Walt Disney, I'm sure, smoking a cigarette.
Right. 3'2"?
Eating a pastrami sandwich and being like, I'm the average man of 3'2". Imagine in the future somebody might be 4'9". Imagine. And then he's eating the pastrami. And no problems. He designed it, but it's like tracks are going over your head.
I know.
And then I get on and I'm like, Walt Disney never imagined that a man might be my size.
No, some freak.
No, they would have shot me on sight if I showed up in 1954.
Right. Like,
and you,
right,
you'd be
forget
in
about
a
it.
glass cage.
Forget about it.
Would you like to see the tallest
Would you like to see
straw?
the tall...
The straw lady.
Look at the funny faces she can make.
Make the funny faces, we can see them.
Look at her go.
By the way, glad you said funny faces.
Yes.
I did myself a favor and typed in your characters, Trudy.
Trudy Weigel.
I wrote Trudy Weigel.
Yes.
Best moments.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. You're so funny.
Are there some
I
good
know
ones?
you've done a lot more, but I was like,
Yes.
I'm in the mood for that flavor. I was dying. And there's one, talk about faces.
Yes.
Where
Oh, no.
the main guy.
Tom Lennon, Jim
No,
Dangle.
not Tom Lennon. I know Tom Lennon, but I
Yes.
do want his name, his character's name.
Jim Dangle.
Jim Dingle Dangle. So there's Dingle Dangle, and he's bright red because he tanned
Oh,
himself.
yes. Tanning bed incident.
The funniest
Yes.
part of that scene, I mean, the whole thing's hilarious, is when you walk in and the camera's just on your face and you don't even know what the scene is, and I'm dying at your face. I really am glad you brought that up.
That's a
'cause
big compliment.
I really wanted to compliment that specific. And it's not that you like, it's not code to be like, you're weird. You did something, a normal face, but like kind of like a smile, and like your eyes are just kind of, they're not twitching, but there's,
Well, thank you.
dying laughing. And I was like, I really think a lot of, I don't know where I'm getting this, but I imagine that a lot of people think it's easy to make a funny face. You say,
Well-
make a funny face, and you're like, ah, and you're like,
Well,
no, make a
you-
small funny face that actually makes you laugh out loud.
It's a
you nailed
compliment
it.
to have another comedian say that was a funny face
was the best
because
funny face I've
it's
ever seen.
often a no-no in our business to be pulling faces, as
Silly
we say.
faces, sure.
Silly faces.
Mugging.
Mugging.
I mug, though. I love mugging.
Well,
not in my
that
acting.
show-
When I do stand up, there's no shame in being like,
Yes,
you
of
can do
course.
whatever you want.
Of course.
But in acting, harder.
acting,
camera,
it's harder, and it's frowned upon, and
Yep.
it's understandable.
Which is a face.
Which is face. But I feel like the screens are getting smaller.
Yes.
I don't know. That's not really true.
Wait,
There's
the streets are getting
no
smaller?
the screens.
The screens
When it's a movie and you're pulling a face, it's like, oh.
Wait a minute.
But
You're right.
Like I watch on an iPad now. I mean,
Remember iPad Mini? What happened to that?
I don't know.
Nobody wanted it.
nobody wanted it.
Now iPad Mini is just the big iPhone.
Right.
But we're watching on little airplanes. We're watching on
Yes.
watches. So you're right. Mugging might be coming back. The more things change, the more
I'm
they stay the
making it
same.
to a thing. It's not really a thing. I
No.
tried to make an excuse for it, but I will say I do try I try to not do that in other things necessarily. But Trudy, that character, that
She could
world,
do it.
she's a mugger.
Which is a dream. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's fun.
we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We're going to do the audition story,
Yeah.
and you had another thing you were going to tell me.
For a second, my heart leapt like you were going to have me audition.
Oh, Space
for this.
Mountain. No. Space Mountain and audition we're going to do.
Yes.
So let's not get sidetracked and talk about Trudy. We won't forget to talk
Okay.
about Trudy.
Okay.
But what fun to play like a hard, funny character.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Michael Scott. I watch Michael Scott and I'm like, oh, that's just someone who's allowed to be
Yes.
as funny as they can be.
Right.
And you're always hoping for a role like that.
Right.
But like, you end up playing a more real person. Anyway, okay, let's do Space Mountain and then we'll tell me what we were saying.
Okay, we're going to do Space Mountain now.
Okay.
So, Space Mountain's not interesting. I wet myself. I was a child.
That's
It was
interesting.
horrifying. Horrifying.
this is why you're...
Begged my father to take me.
This is death.
It
This
was
is
awful.
death.
It was not for me in the dark. No, not for me. And so as an adult, even like my son went once, he's like, not for me. It's not for
Wait,
not for
so
us.
you begged your dad,
Yeah.
who I'm imagining is tall?
Sure. My dad's a little taller than me.
Okay.
It's interesting you keep bringing up the height thing. I could have been 2'2" and I still would have wet myself.
I understand.
And I might have been. I was a child.
Okay, so you're a little baby and you went pee-pee. They must have a protocol for that. Those
I'm
things
sure. The hose
That's a hose.
That's a hose.
And they have a code for it. Somebody leaked
Or it's
Uranus.
not.
Uranus is code for poo-poo on the ride.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
How do you know this?
I don't want to go into it.
Okay.
That was also in that scene with the sunburn. You were like, let's check if you have a little surprise for me. And
I called it something
diaper.
weird, if I recall. It was like 20 years ago.
Oops,
But
I know. Isn't that weird? You're like, oops a daisy. You have a turtle.
Yeah, a
peeking out
turtle.
or
Your
something.
turtle. Great.
Yeah. And then you
Classy.
were like, let's let it finish.
yeah.
Like that it was like a halfway out.
Oh my God. Why?
It's just so
Who talks
funny.
like that?
Also, when you drive off with the liver on your car, I hadn't seen that one
These
before.
are old. Yes, these are
I
oldies and
died.
maybe goodies.
They are goodies.
Okay, good.
And I sure hope you know that I know you've done beautiful stuff, Steph.
No.
So you peed was that super sad? Did you go home afterwards?
I don't remember. I just remember it was horror. It was not for me.
The ride was so scary. Do you
was
remember
so-
at what point it was? Was it during the ride or
It's
was
the
it
darkness. Like, what are we doing?
See, dark was huge in the 50s when they built that ride. They were like, okay, imagine the dark. And everyone's like,
Whoa. Impossible.
And it ends with a light. Oh!
Whoa, you've done it again.
Yes, exactly. But that was like a basic.
Have you seen Jack Plotnick's? Oh, you have to, right after this, you have to watch. Jack Plotnick does all these videos of himself. He puts himself in the old original Disney film, interviews with Walt Disney, talking about building the park.
No.
It's forget about it. I hate when people retell something that's funny and it's like, that doesn't sound funny, but
No, it already
do
sounds
yourself
amazing.
a flavor and watch that.
I'll do myself 3 flavors. I'll Neapolitan it
All
and
three of
watch it
them.
3 times.
All 3 of them.
Okay, so your audition.
Okay.
Your worst audition story.
Yes, which was maybe my first professional audition. We were at NYU, and I say we because the same people that I work with today, we all were there together.
Yes. But with their Jewish names.
No, only one of them.
Just kidding.
Michael-
That's a
Michael
Michael Ian
Schwartz,
Black
we're looking at
joke.
you.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
looking at you, Schwartz.
Yeah, no, all the rest.
Yeah.
We allowed. We had,
Tritrilio. That's you kept it. I can't
by
even
the way,
say it.
Lotruglio. We said
Lotruglio.
it forever, and then after we graduated, he's like, "It's Lotrulio." We were like, "Is it?" Because that's new to us.
Yeah, beat it.
I love.
You
He's
gave
the
us
nicest person on the planet.
No, I know. That's the face of a sweetheart.
It's the everything of a sweetheart.
It's the everything of a sweetheart. Latrulio.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Who
He's not
cares?
here.
He's a
not
good
gonna
guy.
See this? Shut up. Now he's going to see it. Holmes says,
In
"Shut
my
up,
ass.
Latrulio."
Right. How dare you?
That's what I think Deadline's writing about.
Yeah. And
Shots fired.
They're live right now outside the window.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw a guy with like a newsy cap and a cigarette, and he's like with a typewriter.
What a
Did you hear what he
scoop.
said about Latrulio?
I find What a Scoop to be one of the funniest things.
What a scoop.
What a scoop.
Also, what's that? Scoop. Huh?
I mean, jack off. I don't know if we got it.
We have a lot of homework
I feel
to
even
do.
further away with scoop.
Yeah.
But I think it means someone's about to get it, and you scoop in and you get it.
Sure. That
Right?
could be. Yeah, maybe that's not that interesting.
It's not that fun. It was. It's like finding out how you do a magic trick. It's like the bird was behind his head.
Yeah.
Like you're like.
No, you
so
don't wanna
David Blaine's
know
walking
that.
around with a bird duct taped to his head.
You don't want to know that.
You don't want to know.
No, I never want to
Believes
know.
that the bird came out of the man's
Yes.
armpit.
Be amazed.
Be amazed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Go.
Okay. So
Hit it.
actually, that's a very good intro to this really pathetic story.
I don't like that word, Kerr.
But pathetic story?
Yeah.
Really?
Let's own
Pathetic
it.
story.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, you're
how
gonna-
about vulnerable story?
I'm gonna change your mind right now.
Okay.
I'm bringing back the word.
BB. TW.
It's coming.
Okay.
Be prepared. My best friend in college, Laura Schulson, was working. She's a little bit older than me, so she was working in at an advertising agency. Now she's like one of the heads of one of the big advertising agencies.
Edit that out.
Fully edited.
Just had her promotion. We don't.
Correct. And I have her card. I was going to pass out in case you need any advertising,
Her LinkedIn link.
any agencies. She's like, I have an audition for you for like a commercial, like money. And this was the days when,
Big money.
life-changing money.
Somehow, who narked on us?
Who narked
You know
on
the actors
us?
are making a lot of money on commercials. Who stopped that?
Why?
And where did it go?
Where did it go?
It's not like the money
Who's
wasn't
getting
coming
the money?
in. Someone's
I'm
getting
guessing that it's like big celebrities are getting it. They're saving it all for that big celebrity.
Speed agree.
Yes.
It's ruined.
It's ruined.
It's like in the same, like podcasting suffers the same thing. It's like some guy
it? I
in
don't
New
know.
Hampshire used to be able to start his podcast
Okay.
and, review films. And now he's competing with, fucking, I had it on the tip of Jason
It's
Bateman.
Pete Holmes. Oh, I thought you forgot your name. Yeah.
I give it up. That was Jason Bateman.
Smartless. Yes.
Yeah. Keep going. So celebs are taking all the
Maybe, I don't know.
big cheddar.
But at the time, this was like, oh my God, I'm going to audition for a commercial.
Yeah.
And also sort of felt, by the way, side note, a little bit like, I don't know if I want to do commercials. Like, I'm an actress. I do theater.
Still young enough
Hilarious.
that you were like
Hilarious.
rolling your own drum cigarettes,
Yeah.
going like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Would Steppenwolf do it?
Right, exactly. So I lowered myself to go to the audition. No, I wanted it so bad.
Of course. It would have been your year.
Oh, it
Several
would have been my
years.
month, my year.
Yeah.
How does it go? Maybe my year. I'll be there for you. It's Friends. You're just playing along.
Have you ever seen my year? It's 365 days, my dear. Have you ever seen my week?
This is a different show I've
Everybody's
never
got
seen.
7 of them. You freak.
Okay. Write that down.
Write it down.
Idea for sitcom.
Put it on Spotify. Make 6 cents a year. Okay.
Okay,
Love
so
that's what got you.
I go into this audition, and this is my first time ever auditioning for a commercial. And I don't know if this is still how they do it, but the commercials, they're called spots, and they have titles, right? But the title doesn't often completely correlate. So this particular title said mime.
Okay.
So imagine my delight, because I was taking mime at New York University.
Ooh, NYU Mime School.
No, actually, and I went to School of the Arts. I was an experimental theater major, but one of my elective classes was mime. So I thought, I'm a college, I'm like, so
You're soaking up.
full of myself. I'm soaking it all up.
Yes.
And I'm like, mime, I got this. Like, I'm going to pull out the mime moves like you've never seen.
Yeah. Not just pulling a rope.
Okay. So I go in, I'm stretching in the bathroom because this is really going to be something. And I am in this description, it says mime, and then it says there's a voiceover, and I'm simply reacting to the voiceover. I don't speak.
What is the product?
Phone, Verizon, some phone service. Okay.
Mimes have no need for that. I guess they could text.
Right. Well, they couldn't because this is a pretext.
Yeah, this is pretext. So
this
what
is like
was
phone.
a
this
mime
is
need a phone for?
landline. This is landline days.
He only
I don't
needs
know.
a phone to kill another mime.
That's right.
Yeah. You ever beat someone with a phone? Sorry, keep going. It's a great implement.
Write it down.
It's two-edged.
So you can, yeah. So I am pulling out all of the mime
Yeah.
that I have learned in my 2 months of deep dive. I am pulling ropes. I am catching birds. I am stuck in a box. I'm stuck in a box with a bird. I'm pulling a rope.
Wind?
I'm pulling a box. Oh, there's wind. This way there's wind. This way there's wind from above.
Wind in the box
There's
with a
wind
rope.
in the box. There's wind taking the bird.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing, you wouldn't believe And I finish this tour de force performance, and
While they're doing the voiceover, they're reading it.
they're reading the voiceover. And I'm sweating. I'm giving it my all. Because even if if they don't pick me, at least I want them to say, like, wow, that was really something.
Yeah.
Like, are there awards for just auditions? Because I
Yeah.
was sure I was going to get
The
one.
auditions.
The auditions.
The audition goes to the weird girl who did 45 minutes of mime.
Or the best mime you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. And here to
So-
deliver her non-speech.
Yes. So and I look up, and I swear to God, I have never seen more confusion, panic. Like I felt like I saw some like fear,
Horror.
and just silence. Even my friend who's in the back.
They were there?
She was there. And she's like this, like,
Can I rewrite this memory in your mind? And she has a cigarette and
Yes.
it's ash,
Ash.
almost all the way. And
it's
then
loud, the
it
ash.
cuts to her and the ash falls. So she's just,
yeah.
and you hear it because
Yeah.
it's so quiet. The ash. And you're like,
And
should I be able to hear ash right now?
And she has a little dog, and the dog goes, "Oh." Puts his nose
Perfect. Perfect. I'll even pitch monocle falls off into
under-
teacup.
Into teacup.
Yes.
Ghoul.
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 The official sound of a upper class person who's offended.
Yeah, and then
Ghoul.
somebody, woo.
Yes.
Faint.
Onto a fainting couch. That's what they're there for.
Sure.
Shay's Lounge.
All of those things happened. Woo. Ghoul. And I was like, okay, and is there anything else that you want to see? Or no, we're great. Thank you.
Wait,
So
Okay, keep going. I have so many questions, but I want to hear what you're going to say.
so did I.
Yeah.
Because I just gave you, what
The
more
best.
could you want?
Yeah.
I go home.
You gave them a tour de France.
Sure. My girlfriend without all the bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
My girl.
I was going for Tour de Force,
I know
and
you
then I
were.
said Tour de France, which is a thing, so it doesn't work.
I was like,
You gave him a real Tour de France, and you're like, with the bikes? You want to
That
check
one?
that riff for double meanings? No, I'll just say Tour de France.
I actually thought it was a super riff that you knew it was tour de force. So then you took it
Tour de
you were doing a
France.
bit on a bit.
No, mime's French, Tour de Force, Tour de France.
Yeah.
And then I went, there was a red light that went off in my riff
You took a
computer.
left, and
it
you
went,
should've taken
this
a right.
means something else.
Yeah.
And I went, just say it
You're
anyway.
like, we're jazz.
Or jazz.
Throw
Well, it's a deep trust. I was like, even if I say something that doesn't make sense, Kerr
I'll pick it
will
up.
get it.
I'll pick it up.
Kerr, big insult.
So I get home and my girlfriend calls me and I'm like, how did it go? And she's like, Kerry, what happened? And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, I just have to say, like, that was the funniest thing that's like, we were dying. And I said, what do you mean? Why? She said, you weren't trying to be funny. I said, no. She said, we were just stunned at your choice. And I said, what do you mean? And I said, it said mime. And she's like, I know, but you weren't supposed to literally be a mime. You just were supposed to react.
Like mime your reaction.
Like not talking.
Like a wordless reaction.
So I see this thing on TV like months later. And literally, this is the performance by the person who got the part.
I'm ready.
So you do the voiceover of like
Verizon.
yeah.
Not cell phones, just Verizon home phone, right?
Right.
Verizon home phone can now cover 2 lines per your house. Here, that means you can have a business line and a personal line. You are making the smallest, for just the audio people, the smallest subdued nod with a smile. Just like a,
Maybe there was one not like
like,
slight
yeah,
nod.
2 nods was too much for this person.
Much. I'm Why did you call it mime?
Yeah, why call it mime? Call it nod and smile.
Nod and smile.
That would have been giving it away. That is hilarious.
You
I
don't
can't
call
believe.
this in for nod and smile.
No, you don't. It's a waste of you. It's a waste of you. Let it do mime. I call you it. Let it do mime.
Watch it go. Look at it go. Look at all the things it can do.
If you could do all those things, you could definitely nod and smile. I won't tell the story because people have heard the story a million times on this podcast, but I had an audition. There were no words. It was for one of those Domino's pizza or Papagino's or something like that, where you serve Papagino's at a restaurant and you don't tell them. And then they eat it and they like a
Wait, it's like a
it's a prank.
oh real and it really is or
I believe they do it for real.
okay.
Yeah, they do it for real. You can always tell when it's not real. I feel like
Yeah.
I'd wager my
True.
my reputation as
True.
a journalist on this. It feels real. Because people, they have to
very
bleep
big
stuff. Like,
stakes.
you
Yes.
say this is fucking puppetry, like stuff you...
Hey, get over here, you fucking...
Well, you know what it was? Kachava, who used to sponsor this podcast, I still like Kachava. They had this ad on YouTube, and it was so fake. Everybody was like, Kachava is a part of my morning. It makes me feel fantastic.
Yeah,
It
you're
gives
like,
me all the nutrition I need. And just because it's like an old guy that kind of looks like he wouldn't be on TV, but he's still
Right.
acting. He's still like, all those nutrients in one place, that's superfood, supertastic. And I'm just like,
Right.
nobody talks this way. Why not just get... Because I guess most people don't care if a commercial
They fall for it.
feels like a commercial. Yeah, they fall for it.
Yeah, or they fall
You know
for it.
why?
Why?
Because you want to believe.
Sure.
I'm not talking about Kachava. I'm saying like when you're watching a commercial, even though you have
Or
your defenses
anything
up,
on TV, any story.
it's true. You want to believe.
Yeah.
But I was on a plane yesterday, and I could see an ad for like a groomer, like something that'll cut your and
Yeah.
get your ear hair and your nose hair and stuff.
Wait,
And-
you can get that at the airport?
no, it was on the TV of the guy
Okay.
in the row
okay.
in front of
I
me.
was like, they're shining shoes and doing nose hair trimming at the airport
Who
now.
needs a nose trim?
Who needs a
Madam, I don't want to
colonoscopy?
embarrass you, but might I offer you in my service chair?
Brazilian, ma'am?
You need a Brazilian in your nariz.
Natty.
He says it in S-Fan. Anyway, I went from going like, that's stupid, to immediately being like, I have to get that. Like, it's not an issue yet, but it
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should get this one.
Yeah.
But it's for the pleasure of believing that there's hope. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like, you want hope.
Oh, but I do it. I'm such a sucker. I do it on all.
You'll buy all sorts of crap.
Well, I not necessarily buy it, but I'm especially a sucker for the medicinal ones.
Me too.
And they'll say like, not a real person. This is an actor.
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe I have that.
Remember
maybe I
the-
need to get that.
There was that guy. This guy was so ahead of the curve. Remember, you'd see it on infomercials, but he made the infomercial look like Larry King live.
No.
But it wasn't Larry King. It was someone else. It actually made it look like sorry, this is I have to do this every 10
okay,
minutes.
this is how we bring
or
up the
people
spirits.
I know. Yeah, I have to conjure up
The
some spirits real
of
quick.
memory.
Charlie Rose,
Okay.
also scandal noted. I
Okay.
believe he was scandalized. But all black
Right,
around. So
right.
it looks like
Something important.
PBS.
Yes.
Someone on PBS is talking. Shut up!
Yes.
Everybody shut up. Somebody on PBS
Is that a
speaking.
British accent? This must be real.
Or is it Cockney? Cockneyshire?
Cockneyshire. All right, then. I'm from
We all act like we know
Cockneyshire.
what Cockney means.
Come round a bend to Cockneyshire.
Come on, love.
Come on, love.
Come here and do the accent you can all do.
Grab your peg leg and let's get hobbling.
Don't wear it to an audition for a doctor. It's a peg leg, eye patch.
Both.
Both.
Depends on the doctor, though. If you're like a pirate doctor.
That's what I'm saying. Scurvy.
yeah.
That riff was 30
I love a
minutes ago.
scurvy joke.
I think they're on the way out.
Why?
You know why? Because I think even my dad is getting like
He's
the
tired
memo
of
has
it?
the memo has gotten to him
tired
that
of
like if you talk about limes and scurvy, that's like I file it
Wait,
under the
why?
same
Why?
category as pointing out that Frankenstein is actually Dr. Frankenstein's monster. Like there's certain corrections or observations that at one time were interesting and novel, and they're not anymore.
Hmm.
Your is also one of them. Like
Yes.
the internet already did that. Like
Yes,
everyone,
I know,
anyone who's still
constant.
doing your, just leave them be.
Let it be.
Because it's not
We
that they
get
don't
it.
know. They've been corrected. They're
Yeah.
just, you're too dumb. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
not
It's
smart
okay. It's not even
anymore.
dumb. It's
Yeah.
just like, that's not their strong suit.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Similarly, the titillation of improvising, I have scurvy, do you have any limes? Or like we're in an improv scene
Yes.
and I eat the lime. And you
Yes.
go, what do you have, scurvy? That in 1999, that was
Now
Now
why
it's-
isn't it anymore?
we've
because
just heard
it's
it
so
too much.
overdone.
I'm saying even
But
my
I-
dad would be like, scurvy,
I
lime.
love for some reason, one of my go-to bits is always some sort of sexually transmitted disease that
Sure.
doesn't kill you.
Herpes.
Right. I can't come. I have herpes.
Can't come, I have herpes is a great line.
Can't come. I've got the clap.
I think it's still happening. Although I'm going to say something.
Okay.
I don't know what the clap is.
I don't know either. That's why it's funny to me.
Agree. Shingles, I think,
Oh,
is
no.
a terrible disease.
We don't want this. That might have been something I would have laughed about. But now that I've gotten older and the doctor says you need a shingles vaccination, I'm like, oh, that's not so funny anymore.
Yeah, that's what Steve Martin says. Facts. He goes, meaning I made a prostate cancer. He's
Yes.
like, you make all those jokes when you're young, and then when you're older and
Yes.
everyone you know starts dying, you're like,
Yes.
you walk around like, good afternoon. And then you just become very polite. Nothing funny about mortality.
We're all still alive. Good,
We're all
good.
still alive, and
Very
your
good.
health is what's important.
Very good.
Yeah, very, very good. Like you were the funniest comedian. Now you're just like, very good.
Good day, everyone.
It's good to have 4 square meals a day. It's 4. I don't know why I said 4. Because I pictured a square.
That's
Should
how
be
you live
3
so long.
triangle meals a day.
Yeah.
The meals themselves are square.
4 square. They're squared. The meals are squared.
The meals are square. What's the etymology of that?
I don't know.
This isn't square.
We have so many things to ask
and
Jeeves
also,
later.
if Jeeves is dead, you make all those search engine jokes when you're young, and then when all your search engines start dying, you stop making those jokes.
Those jokes, Jeeves went out with scurvy.
Jeeves
so
and the
99.
web crawler spider are both dead.
Oh, the web crawlers.
You know how they died? They jumped off Alta Vista.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Google!
No!
I worked at another one. It didn't work. None of them worked.
No, but that would be a fun, you know how Google sometimes changes their like screen, their
Yeah.
little thing?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Or 2 skulls.
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Jeeves is just hanging.
Jeeves is hanging from the L.
He's like, nobody wanted to ask me.
Well, now it's ask.com.
What is it? Ask.com?
They got rid of Jeeves.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to throw
Oh,
one your
no,
way.
I know Jeeves is.
Yeah, Jeeves is gone. You know who else is gone?
Yeah.
There used to be 3 Cinnamon Toast Crunch guys. Now it's just Wendell.
Really?
And I
See,
can't
you
believe
know that I know a little bit about my serial
CTC?
characters.
Tell me why.
Did you do it? You didn't do it. You didn't check my wiki.
I did check your wiki.
And you didn't see anything in there about cereal.
I'm sorry, did I have to read the references? If I fine-tooth combed the references?
You didn't go into okay.
Is this real? You love
This is real.
cereal?
No.
Tell me what.
Do you know who my father is? I'm building this up like it's going to be.
Is this real?
This is real.
Put on the no riff hat?
Put on the no riff. The riff hat is on.
Is your dad?
The Cocoa Puffs bird.
Your dad is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
And he's Count Chocula.
Your dad,
Yeah, my dad.
who took you on a ride.
Who took me on a ride.
And so this is all we
Better
know
wet
about him is that
myself.
he's of average height-ish.
There's so many wonderful things about my dad, aside from the fact that
He's
average
sunny.
height and-
You also could have said he's sunny.
He's sunny. Well, I don't know. My father, but
Oh,
it's more
not
fun to
for-
say
not
my
for the
father
listeners.
is cuckoo for
To
Cocoa
this
Puffs.
guy.
Okay. My dad is sunny.
I know his name is Sunny.
Okay.
Like Toucan Sam.
Yes.
It's not the pelican from Fruit Loop.
Yes.
You mean Toucan Sam?
mean Toucan Sam.
Call the man by his
What he
fucking
is, by his name.
His name is Toucan
God
Sam.
damn it, he has a name, damn
and he's
it.
my friend. Like you're
He's
on the
my
stand.
friend.
His name is Toucan Sam and he's my friend.
Sunny.
We pan over. He's in the at the table with his lawyer crying. Like, what was he accused of? He wasn't cuckoo for anything. Okay, so your dad was the voice of Sunny.
Yeah, is still.
Is still.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like smoke cigars or anything. 'cause
He did forever.
Your dad did?
My dad smoked cigars, and then he smoked pipes. No.
I was gonna say because that would now
I know.
Sunny would be like, I'm cocoa for cocoa.
He
Puffs.
actually used to.
Give me those cocoa puffs. I think we need to recast.
He was from a very young age. He did radio, and his mom found cigarettes in his shirt pocket one time, and she's like, "What are these?" And he said, "I need these for my voice." She's like, "Okay, well, don't smoke too many of them."
That was an old belief.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. He knew that wasn't true. But
Oh, I just fell for it.
I think
the
he knew-
excuse would still work
I
on me. I'm
think
like,
he
I got
knew.
you. I do know some voiceover people. I think it's baloney pajoni, but they're like, it helps have a more.
well, listen to
interesting
Will
voice.
Arnett. He has a beautiful voice.
Is he a cigarette
I
smoker?
think so.
Yeah.
Well, he used to be anyway.
Yeah.
He has a great voice.
I have a great
I
voice.
miss my cigarette voice. I do. I watch back old shows and I'm like,
picturing it.
oh,
I'm applying cigarette filter to listening to you right now.
I miss it.
Yeah.
Not starting Reno, like a little bit in there, but mostly before. Like
Were you smoking when you did Reno?
maybe right at the beginning, but then
Okay.
not, yeah.
Tom Lennon smoker?
Oh, we were. Tom and I were heavy smokers
Yeah,
together.
Tom Lennon has smoker face.
Tom Lennon and I, met when we were 16.
Smoker face.
Smoke.
Dave Chappelle has smoker eyes. I saw him on SNL. I was like, you can tell by his eyes.
Are they yellow?
They're not yellow. They're not baggy. There's just something about them that I go like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I know he smokes and I'm
Because
reverse engineering.
what is it? He's happy and fulfilled and relaxed.
Is your mom Philip Morris? Like how many?
Oh God, I miss it. I miss it. It's terrible. We shouldn't do it. We're all gonna die.
A doctor with an eye patch comes in and goes like, yeah.
But you were never a smoker.
No, but I did. I used to chew nicotine gum. I'm
You
the only person that I
did?
know that never smoked but did chew nicotine gum because it's fantastic.
Really?
And I still have friends,
fantastic.
but it's also addictive. And
That's why
I won't
it's
go into it.
fantastic.
I just said this on the Kurt Braunohler episode, so I'm not going to say it every episode, but it's like, but what addiction is doing is it's growing new receptors in the brain. So it's like killing other things and replacing it with like a nicotine receptor.
Blah, blah,
And
blah. It's delish.
you are flavor country. You are
I am
flavor
full.
country.
Where's my cowboy hat? My horse, by the way, is
Parked outside?
parked outside.
Under the Times Square Cowboys.
Yes.
Remember that?
I do.
There was a time when cigarettes ruled the
I do.
world so much that Times Square was
Yes.
the Marlboro Cowboy
I do.
blowing smoke rings.
Speaking of how amazing my dad is, my 16th birthday, we stepped out of the theater seeing House of Blue Leaves, and it was Susie Kurtz. And my dad had the ticker tape thingy. It said "Happy 16th birthday,
got
Kerry
it to
Sweet
say
16."
it?
Yes, I have a picture of it. I have a photo
Did he
of it.
time it so it would come when you were walking
I
out, or
guess
it
he
just
did.
went over and over?
It's going there, and then it's up above. There was a big light sign, and it said that.
Wow. And,
I
and
know.
you pan down, because I'm assuming this is in the 80s?
80s, 80. Yeah, I was born in 1970. Yes.
So you're going down, and it's just like a
Yes.
horrible peep show.
Oh, we
It's like,
couldn't-
girls,
Right. Just clams, fried clams.
Fried clams.
Howard Johnson's
I
fried
like your clams fried.
clams and boobs.
So, sorry, what does that mean? Fried,
Fried
clams. What is
clams.
that? Is anyone being breaded in there?
Are the do they come together? Is it a basket or a bucket?
Is it a basket? Nobody wants to see that wet paper underneath the fried clam basket. Or the reminder of how much grease you just ate.
That just made me hungry talking about Howard
Where are you
Johnson's
from?
fried clams. I grew up in Connecticut and New York City.
I was going to say East
Yeah.
Coast. We love a fried clam.
Yeah.
Sort of like a piece of rubber.
Oh, yeah, in the best way.
It's like a piece of rubber you found in the sea hiding in a shell.
Yeah, with a little tartar sauce.
And then you deep fry it.
Yeah, dip it in
and
tartar.
tartar.
Sure.
Well, I'm doing
Almost
Boston.
from Boston,
'cause yeah, that's where I'm from.
Are you?
Yeah, but well, and then I remember the age I was that I was like got grossed out by them, and now I'm back. I'll eat a fucking
Yeah, I'll eat it.
just when I'm at home.
Sure. Just when you're home.
That's
Not when you're
it's
out.
The cigarette of the sea.
Just when I'm home. Like, what's the
I know
difference?
if you were making fried clams in your house, you better be
God.
the fucking Gorton's fisherman. Like you better. Like
Do people ever make fried clams like they're like, let me shuck
bread
these.
and-
Shuck? Do you shuck a clam?
yeah, you shuck it.
Yeah, you shuck a clam,
You shuck it,
says the woman
just
from
like you
New
you
England.
shuck clam. You
Shuck
shuck corn.
Shuck corn.
It just means to remove from its encasing. So every night when I shower,
we're
am I
shucking our
shucking?
clothes. Yeah.
Let me
Hey,
shuck.
baby.
Let me shuck this shirt off.
Shuck those pants off, baby.
When you peed yourself, by the way, I'm still sad about at Space Mountain. You got
don't be
home and you
sad.
shucked your clothes off. You
It's okay.
shucked your wet clothes.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I changed my pants since then. I did.
What I don't like about it is that I'm afraid that like, how old were you?
No way of telling.
No way of knowing.
Probably,
7?
8, 7.
See, that's the age.
Yeah.
That's the age that they say psychologically. They say around 7.
Well, you
Yes.
also are tall. So, like, I probably was too young to be going on a ride like that, but I was tall.
Right.
So I was able to get on.
Same. In fact, I was able to go on those things before maybe I
Yes.
ought to have.
Ought to.
Ought to have.
Octave.
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 Let's bring this up an octave, this whole podcast.
Let's bring this up an octave.
I listen to your band. It's really good. At first, I thought maybe you started a comedy band. And I was like, this isn't comedy
the
band.
reason you probably think that is because we did start, it really was kind of a joke that we were starting something because we were all had other careers, but our boyfriends were all in bands. And so we said while they were all on tour, kind of as a joke, let's go into the practice space and write a song. And when they get home, we'll be like, we're a band too. But as we were about 5 minutes into it, we were like, oh, wait, we actually are a band.
And you like it.
And we love it. And we started playing like 2 weeks of playing every day. And a guy poked his head in and said, hey, did you live in New York ever?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were in East Village, like on Avenue A, but this is like the early 90s. Like this is not the nicest.
Technically Alphabet City, but yeah.
Alphabet City. Alphabet City. You're right. It was right on the edge, right on the edge.
I just wanted to show New York knowledge.
But it was so nasty then that's why like
it was a terrible area.
It was a terrible area.
We all should have bought it back then, by the way. No shit. How it's so close. It's touching a great area.
A great
area. If a
area.
shitty area is touching a great area, go ahead and buy the shitty area.
But you know what? There were no great area. That was the time when Tompkins Square Park was shut down because it was so dangerous.
Yeah, Thomas
right?
Lennon Square
I lived
Park.
on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Thomas Lennon Square Park. So we played in there for a couple of weeks, and this guy poked his head in, and he said, "Hey, I have this. We're doing a party in Brooklyn next week. Do you guys want to play?" And we were like, we're not a band. And he said, "Well, it sounds like you're a band." And we said, "We have 3 songs." He's like, "Great, come play 3 songs." So we went and played 3 songs, and at that party.
This is great.
John Zorn, who's an amazing jazz trumpeter, said, I am working with this label off of, it's called Avant Records in Japan. Would you guys be interested in making an album? So we said, we only have 3 songs. He goes, you'll write some more.
Yeah.
So we wrote some more, and we went in and we...
You wrote some filler.
We recorded it. It came out, and it got 3.5 stars in Rolling Stone magazine.
Shut the
And the
fuck
whole
up.
center of Spin magazine.
What?
And I got my name on the cover, like Rolling Stone. Like it was the weirdest sort of, like what's happening?
The fast track.
Yeah.
Not to bring Disney World back up, but you were on the fast track to
the
showbiz.
sort of low bottom of the Riot Girl world, or whatever you want to call it.
Music, I feel like, is one of the most difficult. Here's what I'll say about music, and then I want to hear your thoughts. I mean, I'm not saying shut up while I talk. I'm just saying this is a theory. I want to hear your thoughts, though. Meaning the only reason I'm saying it is for your thoughts. You can find an undiscovered person on Spotify, and you're like, this is as good as anything.
Right.
Like, that's not, most art isn't like that.
Right.
Like, you go to even a stand-up open mic, probably everybody's going to be pretty bad.
That's
But
true.
There's stuff on Spotify where you're like,
or
if
TikTok.
these people had, totally agree. You hear a voice on YouTube, TikTok, and you're just like, the difference between this person and Billie Eilish, I'm not putting down Billie Eilish. In fact, she's kind of an anomaly with her brother and the songwriting and everything.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, voice, talent, all that sort of stuff, you're like, seems to be marketing, ? Or like some sort of angle?
The big break.
The big break. Yeah, they didn't get a break.
What is it? Yeah.
What is it? Indeed.
I know.
Indeed.
I'll show my husband these things all the time on TikTok. On TikTok, I'm just a lurker. Like I love to just look at, you know, and I'll show him.
That's how I am on Ashley Madison.
Wait, is that still a thing?
I don't think it is because there was a breach.
Yes.
Remember somebody hacked it. And it was all the names, all the dirty boys.
Just like to shop for the ladies but never buy.
That's such a stupid
So
idea.
ridiculous.
We're like Uber for affairs.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Come, fuck up your life
Yes.
with us and pay for it.
Go be a skis in the wild. Don't
I
bring
know.
HTML into your cheating.
I know.
No. Don't have a password.
I kind of love
In your
it, though.
keychain.
I love it. And then I love that it was like exposed.
You love
and,
these cigarettes and Ashley Madison.
Let's
be real.
Alphabet City.
Right. You were living in the rough and tumble G.G. Allen, New York.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. That's where he
yeah.
died, I think, is why I know that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, back in the day.
in the
When I was little, my dad was living in the West Village, and it was like the 70s and 80s in New York. That was a different time. That was a different time.
He didn't go around saying, I'm Sonny the Cuckoo
My
Bird.
father-
He was like, how you doing?
Back then, you couldn't just walk around and be a cartoon bird. You had to keep it hidden.
Let's talk. We didn't really talk enough about that.
Yes.
Did you love that your dad was fucking Sonny?
Yes.
Did he ever in earnest go like, sweetheart, I got to be honest, I'm not cuckoo for these grades or something?
Well, I feel like might have been my half brother, somebody, or my half sister, somebody went to school and said, and the teacher had to call and say, we did a career day at school and your child thinks you're a cartoon bird. And my dad was like, I am a cartoon bird.
And then like three doctors with straight jackets like slowly back out of the room. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
Release
good.
the child. Release the child.
Let's talk everything Cocoa Buffs. We're just going to do our mid-roll ads and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, mid-roll ads.
Pardon the interruption, weirdos. This episode is brought to us by our friends at Next Evo. Here they are. I'm holding them right here. And if you watch the intro, you know I am traveling currently. I am in Vancouver, and that's how much I love my Next Evo, specifically these Stress CBD Complex. These are made with hemp extract and ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen that helps your body cope with stress. So two things. This is like a serious secret weapon in my stress arsenal. I don't think I've used my own promo code as much on a product ever before in my life. Val and I both absolutely swear by these. So give yourself the ultimate gift of a stress-free holiday with Next Evo Naturals fast-absorbing CBD products. So you guys know that we've had other CBD brands on in the past. I've cleared my shelf for real, and replaced all of it with Next Evo. Why? Because Next Evo's Stress CBD Complex gummies are clinically proven to have 4x better absorption than standard CBD. They got science involved, and guys, they cracked it. You take one of these and you feel it fast. It's not like so many tinctures that I've taken where you're not sure if you are even seeing any results. This gets you where you're gonna feel it right away. No other CBD brand can promise that. And I absolutely love these gummies, and I swear by them. Next Evo's Smart Sorb, I love that, Smart Sorb technology is how they do it. They deliver CBD to your system in as little as 10 minutes, unlike other CBD brands. Regular CBD oil works more slowly because of how our bodies process oil-based ingredients compared to water-soluble supplements. And regular CBD only achieves 2 to 10% absorption. 2 to 10. So that's over 90% of what you think you're getting is going to waste. But Smart Sorb upgrades CBD's natural absorption power. It's scientifically formulated to deliver more CBD fast. The only brand clinically proven to deliver 30 times better absorption in the first 30 minutes. Fight holiday stress with Next Evo Natural Stress CBD Complex Gummies featuring ashwagandha, clinically proven to reduce stress by 70%. I personally can attest to that. Val can attest to that. Ashwagandha and CBD are a dream team that work together to target the source of rising stress hormones like cortisol. And Next Evo is the only brand that combines a patented natural whole plant ashwagandha that's 8 times more powerful than regular ashwagandha. And they're 100% US hemp-derived Smart Sorb CBD with 4 times better absorption than standard CBD. So not only is it better CBD, it's better ashwagandha, and you can feel it. I take these on planes. I take these before phone calls with my folks. I mean, and sometimes, honestly, it's not like it sends you to another planet. It's a very functional and here on earth kind of place. Meaning, I take these when I'm working, when I'm writing, whenever I just want to ease and flow with whatever I'm trying to do. It's such a wonderful thing, and I'm so glad they're here to sponsor the podcast. So, get smarter CBD with Next Evo Naturals and get up to 25% off subscription orders of $40 or more at nextevo.com/podcast and use promo code WEIRD. That's nextevo.com/podcast and then use promo code WEIRD. Next up, the second Pete's pick. Do you think your job stinks? Do you think your job stinks? Well, just wait until you hear what it's like to be a funeral clown. I guess that's a real thing, funeral clown. Long before all of human knowledge was in your pocket, people had some pretty bizarre professions. Luckily, you don't have to be a sin eater, and you don't have to go see a barber surgeon now, but you will find out what it's like to get surgery with a shave. Wondery's new podcast, This Job is History, is hosted by our friend Chris Parnell from SNL and Rick and Morty. Nobody funnier and better to listen to than Chris Parnell. And this podcast is steeped in factual history. This brilliantly funny podcast delves into quirky and absurd jobs from the past with hilarious interviews that are infused with fascinating, true Easter eggs. So come get weird with them every week as improv comedians from Groundlings and UCB act out their old-fashioned gig from another time. You'll be glad your guidance counselor didn't recommend any of these jobs. And who's funnier than Chris Parnell? And who are funnier than the improvisers at Groundlings and UCB? And what's a funnier topic than weird jobs from history? I mean, funeral clown? I want to hear the funeral clown episode. It's hard to say. Funeral clown. No one's funnier than Chris Parnell. Check out This Job is History. Clock in and follow This Job is History on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or listen early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. All right, everybody, let's get back to Kerri.
Cocoa Puffs, we're back. We're back.
So good.
Oh, tell me, I just want to know everything. So you start there. You did think it was cool. You talked about it at school. They were worried that it wasn't real.
That wasn't me. It was my half brother, my sister.
Oh, your half brother.
Yeah, somebody did, or maybe I made up that story because it's so great. But no, we don't have any fact checkers here.
No. This is a fact check free zone.
But I always. And my dad was doing. He was Don Imus's sidekick character voice guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he was like a multifaceted voice actor.
Still is. He's Skittles Taste the Rainbow guy now.
He's that guy barking at me to taste the rainbow?
Yeah.
That's huge.
I know.
Anything
he was
that's
Lion-O,
small
Lord
and
of the
sugary, he'll sell
Thundercats,
it.
which was like
Wait, Lion what now?
Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats. Did you ever watch the Thundercats?
I know who Lion-O is.
Do you
the
know
main guy.
Yeah. So do you know that
He was the main guy in fucking Thundercats?
Yeah. I told
Your
this
dad
to
was Thundercats Ho? Which I don't find appropriate. It's Thundercats sex worker.
Oh, you big
You're not
fat
supposed
hoe.
to say. You're not supposed to say.
Nasty hoe. I told that to Dave Krumholtz. We were working on something together. And we were just talking, I don't know how, and it came, or he I think he said Thundercats ho or something. I said, that's my dad. Literally tears came to, he's like, what?
I'm dead.
He was dead. He goes, for my Jennifer, he's like, that killed him.
Really?
Killed him.
Yeah, there's got to be super fans for
Yeah.
Thundercats. I remember being a kid and being like, I really want to get into this. I
Yeah.
think it was just when it aired or something.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't quite get enough of it
Right.
because I did love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cats with swords.
Yeah.
Weren't they
What's
men
not to
that turned
love?
into cats, or were they always cats? They were always cats.
I don't remember.
I remember that one
I
of the
don't
cats
remember
was,
the origin story. You know what you have to do? Look up
Jihad?
You know jihad?
You know jihad to do.
You know what jihad? I try and slip it in. It's weird.
It's like your weird signal.
It's like it's like the only Tourette's thing that I have. Jihad. Look up, I'm giving you lots of homework. Look up, there's an outtakes video of them recording, and just the filthiest mouths. They're all like
of course,
smoking
drinking,
cigars and drinking, and it's
I'm a
so
Thundercat.
fun. Oh,
Wow.
it's so filthy
The
and
Thundercats
fun.
guy kind of looked like he had that disease where patches of your skin go white.
It did look
You know
like
what I
that,
mean?
didn't it?
He kind of looked like he had
Yeah.
that. I don't know what that's called, but I love that you yes-handed it.
I almost said entomology again. Jesus Christ.
Entomology.
No, it's called
Etymology. Hit it. Go ahead. You can hit me.
It's called. What if I just punched you so hard in the
God.
face? It's called
Weird.
empatigo.
Thank you.
Yes.
Empatiger.
Empatiger.
He was an empatiger.
That's probably how it started.
Yeah, it was before Thundercats know what he had.
Ooh.
So was your mom around?
Yes.
What is she doing?
My mom was amazing, but she was not in the entertainment business at all. She was a laugher. Oh my God, she was a laugher.
It's like
she passed away 5 years
best
ago,
combo.
much too young. Yeah, she was incredible. Yeah, best combo.
It is the best
combo. But my dad's also a big laugher. Like he loves
gives
to
it up.
laugh. He loves to give the floor. He loves to, he's so proud always.
To you,
And,
you mean? And they love your work?
Literally, I could like poop in a cup and my dad would be like, my daughter pooped in a cup.
Are you the only?
No,
you already
my
mentioned
dad.
your
My
brother.
dad remarried and had my brother and my sister.
Okay, so
Yeah,
when did
and
they
they're incredible,
when
too.
did they divorce?
Well,
When did he have to
I think
thunder,
when I was
thunder,
8,
Thundercats go?
he ho.
Okay.
He's like, you ho, and then he was out.
I'm not cuckoo for this.
I think he was out.
No.
I think Cocoa Puffs was while they were married, but then
He was like, I'm too cuckoo. This is too cuckoo.
it's like, I'm out of here.
I love cuckoo, and this is too cuckoo.
You're a hoe.
You're a
Is there something there?
Thundercats. Was there infidelity? No, you don't have to tell me
I
that.
don't know. It's not important. The important
split.
thing
How
is,
old were you when they
I think I
split?
was 8.
See, it's when you're pee-peeing in your pants. We're making connections. Is
Wow.
What they're saying. Yeah. It was a wet thigh for help.
Oh my God, you didn't.
It was a wet thigh for help. It's like equal parts terrible and also just right.
That should be on a banner for your next show.
Wet thigh for help?
Equal parts terrible.
Yes.
And to cry for
It's
help.
a quote, and you look at the fine print, and it's like, it's him. He
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah.
He said it about himself.
And he's the one putting the banner up. That's so
guess-
weird. Is that him? Get down. You're going to hurt yourself.
So they got divorced when you were, forgive me, but right around the age where you're old enough to kind of understand it. Was it difficult?
Forgive you because you're telling me this for the first time.
Forgive me for bringing it up. I mean, I could be like, let's talk more about cinnamon toast
I thought you were like, I hate to tell you this, but your parents broke up.
But you were old enough to get it. Is the
I got
problem.
it.
Yeah,
It was
you
a
got
gut punch.
Like younger, maybe it's all in the
No,
blur.
I remember the day. I remember,
When they
it was
told you?
hard, but you have to do what you have to do. They had to do what they had to do.
Of course. But
Yeah.
you did take it hard.
Yes, I did.
How did you process it?
Heroin? No, no. There's no great big story. It was just hard. I don't know.
I guess what
processed
I'm
it.
driving at is
Yeah.
I'm interested in there was conflict in my family. Everybody knows that. It was just they just didn't really get along. Let's
Yeah.
just say that. And then let's just say that.
Let's just say that. Let's just leave it
when
at
you
that.
when you say that, it's like it was much
Oh,
worse.
Jesus
Oh no!
Christ.
Let's just say it was a rocky road.
Let's just say it was World War III. I don't want to put anything on it, but
But that is when I got really into performing. And was there
Yeah.
any sort of correlation, or am I forcing
I'm
it?
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a, also why is she a clown?
Why is she doing this
Why
mime
does she
work?
do this?
Yeah.
Why is she miming?
What was the first thing that you found that was like an outlet? I mean, clearly you're so naturally funny.
Comedy, no doubt.
What-
It's such
what-
a boring story.
Tell me.
It's a
What do you mean?
I feel like it's universal to I feel like it's every comedian podcast story.
Okay.
For me, okay.
True.
For me it was.
But okay, go ahead.
Yes. For me, I was very shy
Yes.
as a little kid. And I think my mom was like, is she going to talk at some point? Or,
Yeah.
and then I felt like one time, I remember being in a classroom and I remember a substitute teacher writing her name, Miss Mills, on the chalkboard. And I remember something happened and I stood up as if being possessed and I crossed out the M and I put a P and that was like my bit, Miss Pills. And I sat back down and the class loved it. And I thought oh, this feels really good. Like I just appeared in the room for the first time.
Oh,
and
need.
I was like, okay, so I am not the pretty girl. I am not I'm not sporty.
Yep.
I'm not.
Which spice are you?
I am silly spice.
You're like, I'm not posh.
So I'm definitely not posh.
Not cockney.
So
You were
cocky?
silly.
Did you say cocky? I'm not cocky
I
spice.
said, what did I say?
Cockney?
I said, you're not from Cockenshire? I mean,
It's cockney spice.
Cockenshire.
Look at it go.
I think Christian Bale is Cockney. Have you ever heard him talk? He's like, when I was playing Batman,
Yeah.
when I was Batman now for me, bro. I'm like, that can't be. We got to work on that. I'm just kidding. Christian Bale, please do the podcast. So you got you know what I love about that bit? It existed. Like a lesser would have just went more like Miss Pills, not as good.
Not as good.
You wrote it,
Committed.
which also I would say sort of is the joke. Like the joke is that you were so motivated
up.
to erase.
Where's she going? What is she?
Yes. And we all
Where's
know
the
what it looks
chalk?
like when you write on newly
And the
erased.
sound-
It's funnier than a dry erase. You
the
can't
put down,
reshoot this
the
in a dry erase.
turnaround,
Yes.
the
laugh.
acknowledgement,
And then the
the
victory walk back to the desk.
the sit down, then the reveal as she comes into the room.
Yeah.
She sees
Second laugh.
best bit.
That's the best.
It's all my comedy career's been downhill since Miss Pills.
You can't talk Miss Pills. That's your my name is. I love everything about it. Can I also add
Yes, and
your big laugh, your back is to the audience.
yes,
That never happens. It's this like weird, it's like walking away from a car as it explodes.
so
You
brave.
did that.
So brave.
You were sitting and you didn't even get to see, but you felt it. Like I like to think it blew your hair
Yes.
forward a little bit.
just the bravery.
Just the bravery of it.
You know, I mean, I don't like to call myself a hero, but
Where's Miss Pills? Dead
she killed herself
that day.
from that
So it
in
was really
front
much
of the
more
class.
trauma.
Yeah.
That it was horrible to see.
No,
her.
that actually made me feel great because that was the justification that my bit really made an
so
impact.
funny that she ended it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay. So then NYU, the state, snooze. Who cares?
Who cares?
Tell me about the best nap you've ever taken. There's
Okay.
a question you don't get on podcasts.
I love napping.
Me too. But have you ever had one
so
where you're like,
good
I
at
can't believe
it.
I got away with that, or it nailed you, like you fell asleep in a weird place?
I can sleep anywhere.
You
I think
can?
it was from honestly being on tour with the band where you just have to be able to sleep.
Wait, so you and Cake went on tour?
Okay, so yes.
We're back to them.
yeah.
So you rocket past. Let's just say
So we
it,
do this weird-
thousands of bands
this
that have
weird,
been putting in.
Well, I told this story on
many
Jimmy
hours.
Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Do you realize how many people hate you right
Yeah.
now?" And he turns to the band, and the band's like, "But," and our boyfriends had come back from being on tour, and they were just like, "What? Like, what is happening?"
What band is your boyfriend in?
I was in had a couple of boyfriends in a band called Shudder to Think. They're amazing. Craig Wedren.
Okay.
And then Girls
Shingles,
Against
I think.
Boys was
Girls
another
and
band.
Boys. Okay.
But we were playing a show at the Knitting Factory in New York.
Yes.
And afterwards we were backstage and somebody said, Rick Ocasek is here to see you. And we were like, I don't think he's here to see us, but okay, send him back. So he came back and he said, I'm a fan. I bought your record because I liked the artwork and I'd like to do a single with you. Tomorrow, when you have your next show, could I get some friends on the guest list? We said, sure. So the next night we're playing and in comes Rick Ocasek, who's 30 feet tall, with Neil Young and
An E minor
Paulina
chord
Porska.
accompanying
Yeah.
him. Just
So
everywhere he goes.
he comes backstage that night and says, I have a new label called Vapor Records off of Warner Brothers, and I would love for you to be my second band. We have
Neil
Jonathan
Young said
Richman.
that or the other guy
Yeah,
said
Neil Young.
Wow.
So we did a single with Rick Ocasek, and Neil put it out, and then we did 2 more albums with Neil for Vapor Records, and we toured with him in Europe and in America.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What did your partner, who was in a more traditional band
Oh,
trajectory,
produced us.
He produced.
Loved us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Craig Wedren. And Craig Wedren does the music for he did the music for The State, for Reno. He's married to Tom Lennon's sister.
Oh, so it didn't work out.
Yes. No, it's going well.
Yeah. It's going well with someone else.
No. You know, when you're younger and you're dating people, you're like, are you the one or is it you?
You know what's weird?
You get
were
close.
dating someone else's husband.
I know.
You know what I
Isn't that
mean?
weird way to look at it.
Yeah. And you're kind of going like, is this my husband?
Yeah.
And then when you break up, really, you're saying, you're someone else's husband.
Yeah, you're not mine. I put him back on the shelf.
Yeah.
He put me back on the
And
shelf. I
then
think we put
somebody
each other back on the shelf.
comes back and picks it. It's like when
like,
you put a jar of pickles in the cereal aisle.
All right.
And then that's sometimes how you find him.
Yeah.
Somebody else's pickles.
Yeah.
My guide to dating.
Somebody else's pickles.
Orny Adams, a very funny comedian, had a great bit about how he hadn't met his wife yet, which means she's out there dating, which means someone is out there fucking his wife.
That's phenomenal.
Isn't that great?
That's
When I saw that bit, I was like,
phenomenal.
it was right there. It's true. It's like
Yes.
until you meet your partner, they're out having sex with somebody else.
Your
and
wife's a real slut.
Yes. What are you doing?
And if she wasn't a real slut, like, is she?
This is why you should save yourself to your marriage.
Yeah.
I'm JK, 100% JK. Do it. do it a ton.
Just do it. Kids, do it.
Just do it a ton.
Don't get the clap or scurvy.
Or shingles, or shingles, or shingles, or shingles.
Prostate cancer.
So then what was Neil Young like? Did he smell of cinnamon?
He's horrible. No.
That would be
just
so
how you
great.
would think. He's how you would dream he would be.
Yeah.
They were playing one summer. We were doing festivals, and he was there with Crazy Horse. And our Elliot Roberts, who passed away a couple years ago, who's a god, who was Neil's manager, and Crazy Horse, I think, and Joni Mitchell, and actual people, not. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing with us. I feel like they just like love new, modern, hip stuff, and they're like, "Hey, this is fun."
Yeah.
It's flattering, but we don't put ourselves in that world by any stretch of the imagination.
Sure.
So, but we would
you were.
after shows, we would be like hungry at these festivals, and Elliot would say, go in, Neil, they go in their dressing room. They've got like lobster. No one's eating.
Yeah.
And we would go in, and Crazy Horse and Neil would just be yelling at each other every night with love, like brothers. Like, you played that riff wrong, or you jumped in too soon. What is this? And we just like tiptoe in, and they were just like uncles. They're like, girls, get the lobster, get the fruit,
By the way.
Yes.
Not even by the way. I just love every part of that. I love a music argument. It's supposed to be in 4/4. You were playing a 3.
But it just was like, and it never felt scared, like grown-ups get. It felt like
brothers,
and like adrenaline and passion,
and they cared.
And they cared. And
when my first writing job was for a show called Is That True? No, my second writing job was called.
I thought that was
It Doesn't Matter. Huh?
I thought the show was called Is That True?
Is That True on CBS? Look, honey, I love you. Is that
true? Not anymore.
It was a show called I Hate My Teenage Daughter, which is just as crazy a name as Is That True?
Maybe more crazy.
It's a little more crazy.
Okay.
It was a high concept title. But Jamie Presley, do you know who that is?
Yes.
She was the lead.
Yes.
And as such, it was sort of a fancy show. I mean, they were sort of whining and dining her big star to do the show. Meaning, or maybe it was just sitcoms at the time. All I'm saying is there was none of this on Old Holmes' show.
Right.
So which was fine.
Which we have to talk about, by the way. Yes.
No.
Oh, we do.
I don't know what I'm doing.
We do.
Anyway.
Grand Potter.
In Mr. Potter. I just went with what you said and said what it made me think of. In their dressing room, I don't know if it was... It might have been the producer's screening room.
Okay, like their little green room with the fanciest food.
And it was always sushi from...
Nobu.
Whatever, Nobu, yeah.
Yeah.
And no one ate it.
No one eats it.
No one eats it.
No one eats it.
And as soon as they left, me and the other staff writers, the lowliest writers, would just move in and...
Brown bag it, yeah.
And it was the best.
The best.
And it was a little warm, and we didn't care.
No.
We don't care.
We don't care. Salmonella, schmalmonella.
Give me that eel sauce. I'm going to put it on a non-eel roll.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
What is it? Rub that uni on my nipples. I don't care.
Old nipples.
Old nipples.
Yoko...
Yoko
Ono. Yoko Ono. The Italian Yoko Ono. Yeah. She broke up the Beatles with carbs.
Oh.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right. Have you ever almost died?
Just now.
Just
what
now
if it was
with
like,
a pillow.
What if there was like a knife in this? And
I mean...
have I almost died?
You know, every 19th My Pillow has a knife in it.
That would keep things interesting.
Yeah, nobody minds. It's a bonus.
I did buy a My Pillow long before we knew of the problematic nature.
I think everybody did, and that's why he got to a point where he was like, I think I can say whatever the fuck I want. My Pillow, my opinion.
Anyway.
Here's my opinions.
Hey, before we talk about
when you almost died.
Me almost dying, I do want to say I was such a huge fan of Crashing.
Oh, thank you.
To the point that I was emailing Judd going like, hey, bud.
I would have loved you
just hanging around. Just want to let you know how much I'm digging the show. Oh, season two. I did.
Really?
And I didn't do that with any other project with him.
That is such a great compliment. My small face to you compliment earlier, I think this is even greater for me. I love that. Really, it means a lot. I don't know why he didn't mention it. Probably because you go to spam.
Because he's
You
like,
go right to spam.
I go right to spam. No, not spam. Blocked.
Blocked. Every once in a while, I'll email
After
somebody.
Wanderlust, after love, he's like, you're out.
You're gone. You know, Wanderlust is like
You had a chance,
my
lady.
fave move ever. It's one of my favorite
It
movies.
is.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie.
And so Ken, who put us in touch,
yes.
we talked quite a bit about Wanderlust, and David Wayne did
It was the
pod.
greatest experience.
I believe it.
Ever.
It seems like it would be. You know what's? Can I just jump right
Yes.
to the? I wish you had been on Crashing. Second.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
That is one of those movies that, first of all, like commune living. I'm not saying I want to live in a commune.
Yeah.
I am saying that you look at like certain parts of Switzerland where they're doing it in more
Yes.
reasonable ways, where you have your private area, but there's communal this, communal that, kibbutzes, stuff like that. Like basically
Right.
the whole premise of WeWork.
Right. Well,
I know that went
Yes.
sideways. But I'm just saying one of the things that's lacking in modern culture is community, especially with childbearing, child rearing. Like women should not be raising
100%.
children alone.
100%.
And I'm going to say that men who are, I'll speak for myself, it can be less easy for us to share things that are hard for us, but so many of them would be solved by having community.
Yeah.
I'm worried about this. I've been through that.
Right.
Now we can help each other.
Right.
But men are just like the Western, we want to be Captain America, we want to be Spider-Man. These are all lone wolves. Batman. These are all lone wolves. That's like,
Right.
that is our mythology. I don't even like X-Men because I don't like ensemble crime fighting. I don't want
Yes.
to. But there's so much. So anyway, as a
So
movie.
you don't want to live in a crime fighting commune?
No.
Okay. Because I was
No.
I had a flyer. Okay, never mind.
And also, communes need to get their shit straight about, I always say this, but guns and sex. Like get the rules out about guns and sex week one.
Is that a
They
common
all fall
problem?
apart because of guns or sex. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about religious cults.
Oh, okay,
Which is
okay.
communal living. And now I'm going to put it to you, but like it seemed like making that movie, if you make a movie about a commune, you're sort of in a mini commune, meaning it's a little bit like summer camp.
We're living in that. We lived it.
Yeah.
we
you lived
lived
in
it.
that house?
Essentially,
Yeah.
we each had a lake home.
Oh, wow. That's a great selling point.
Every night, we would go to one of the houses, usually Paul Rudd's or Jennifer's.
Yeah.
And we hired a KJ almost every night. Karaoke.
Jukebox?
A karaoke person would come with their setup and sort of sit back and sometimes not sit back and sometimes would join in. We heard
Which
the,
we
we
had
heard the
mixed
rose
feelings
a lot.
about.
We heard the rose a lot.
Just remember it. Sometimes I love the rose.
For real.
Every once in a while. If you haven't
yeah.
heard the rose in, I'm going to say 2 years.
I sing it. I belt it in my car every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far beneath the bitter snow.
But we had the motherfucking time of our lives. I mean, Jordan Peele, Catherine Hahn, David Wayne.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's
Justin
a shame
Theroux.
that Michaela Watkins wasn't in the...
We didn't get to play
I
with
know.
Michaela.
Yeah.
Or Michael Black or Michael Schultz.
Yeah,
They were.
That's a shame.
Ken was there because he was, had his
Co-writer.
work. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to play with those other guys. But
Yes.
we had.
And Latrulio with his fake dick.
Latrulio.
With his synthetic penis.
That was a big issue, the synthetic penis. Yeah.
I believe it's David Wayne that I talked to about
Yes,
his fake
yes,
penis. Because
yes.
I was like, is that...
It was off-putting. And it looked like
was
he
a
had
hog.
the most enormous pubic thicket. I have many pictures, which cracks me up because you know how like your I don't know, like your Apple TV, your pictures will go past it every
Sure.
now and then one of just this and me like
Oh my God.
with my face
You're
next
like in
to
an
it.
Al Franken
Yeah.
canceled photo.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just my son at like by the Christmas tree in third grade,
Equally thick. The thicket is indistinguishable
we gave
from
him
the
a
tree.
Merkin that year. A really aggressive
Oh my God.
Merkin. Yeah.
Just like the three wise men, gold, frankincense, and
and
Merkin.
Merkin. Exactly. We like to keep it.
You are the safest
Religious and
place to
authentic.
play around.
Yeah.
I remember Tour de France. I remember gold, frankincense, and Merkin. There have been some
were there.
hot
You were
riffs
there.
in
You
this
were
pod.
there.
I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so I'm so glad you loved it. I just think it's one of the most underrated comedies of all time. And when Judd did the podcast the first time, which led to Crashing,
Yes.
I said, why wasn't
Yes.
Wanderlust a bigger hit? That was one of my questions.
Yes.
And he said,
Because of
thinks it
Kerri Kenney.
Might have been Kerri Kenney.
Yeah,
I
it
thought you
probably
said, I thought you
was.
said Jerry. I was like, your brother was in it? No, he said he thought the title might have been wrong.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because if it had been called like Hippie Commune or like
Fucking Alan Alda.
so good.
Alan
Why do they
Alda.
call it the worst? It's the best.
Oh, I love him. We text.
You text Ali
Yeah,
Alds?
we email.
Oh my God.
I mean, come on.
I never do this. Would he do this or is he past doing?
I don't know.
Because it seems like at a certain
He's
point,
East
I almost
Coast.
hope for him.
Yeah.
Not because of his age, that he's just kind of like, I don't need to go around and do things.
I
anymore.
don't think he would say that. And I love you, but that was a terrible
I'm going to try again.
Alan
It was my
Alda
first try. It was
impersonation.
my first try.
Yeah. I've got to let you know, friend. Don't do that again.
I feel like it's okay.
Are you sure
Here,
we're
here.
thinking of the same person?
Here.
Is that from MASH?
We're gonna fix this. Alan
Yeah, she.
Alda. No. The first thing that comes up, by the way. All right, here's Alan Alda talking. No commercials. You don't get a free commercial
There's
on my
a great
podcast.
story actually about his audio book. He wrote a book.
Yes.
And I was like, so.
Oh, this is him revealing his Parkinson's
Oh,
diagnosis?
Jesus.
We're not going to forget it. Forget it.
Forget it.
I'm bad at
What
the
just
impression. I can't
happened?
fix it. That's fine. Why of all the videos reveals? I didn't know he had
He
Parkinson's.
does this great impersonation of Alan Alda,
but
but
it's
Alan Alda
announcing-
announcing his Parkinson's. Like, that's very one-man show.
That is so funny, by the way. If you audition for SNL, doing impressions of actors, celebrities, but only at their worst moment, and it's like not funny worst moment, like a real. And Lorne Michaels is just like,
Their child overdosing, them
yes.
finding their dead child.
yes, the worst things imaginable. And Lorne Michaels is just like, but they're the best impression.
That was a little bit like my SNL audition. It was a
What
little
did
bit
you
like
did?
this. I don't remember.
But you did poorly.
I don't know. I don't think I did poorly. I don't recall feeling like I did poorly. They reached out to me, so it couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah, okay.
But it was during the state, and I was like, well, all right, we'll try this. And I auditioned, and I remember it being terrifying. I don't remember it feeling like it was bad. But that was a year, I believe, that they didn't take anybody new or women or something.
That's interesting.
The whole experience was not terrible,
Yes.
but I do remember it being very frightening.
But I think they design it to be frightening.
You're told.
Yeah.
You're told before you go in, there will be no reaction,
Yeah.
which is hard. Which
Again,
is hard
we're back
to hear.
how we started this podcast. Don't worry,
Yes.
we know what's funny. It's like
Right. But it's also like why let's be honest.
LBH.
I like, I don't.
What are we being honest about?
I like a laugh. I like an audience. I like
And honestly,
an audience.
the laugh informs the performance.
Yes.
That's what it's like,
Are you liking this?
It's like having someone audition for a jazz band with a saxophone, but the buttons aren't hooked up. There's no connective.
Yes.
So it's like you're just but they're like good fingering. That's what it is. Don't you understand that I'm a conductor of laughter?
Right.
And you're just like, yeah, but do it without the laughter.
I'm not just blowing reeds here.
What am I, blowing reeds?
That's the origin of that. It happened right now. So when
Yeah.
people from now on use
Yeah.
the phrase blowing reeds,
But-
they're going to say, what's the etymology of that phrase?
Etymology.
2022
Three.
podcast.
Correcting you in real time. Yeah, this podcast 2023.
Yes.
By the way, if anyone, comedians listen to the show, if anyone does get SNL and they're eating shit
Yes.
and you say, what am I, blowing reeds? And then you become a huge celebrity on SNL and then we look up your audition on YouTube and we're both very old and we play it and I go, what am I, blowing leads? I'll be so old I'll have no memory of it. That's a weird way to end the story. No, I'll be really happy. I'll be really happy.
And then we'll all be dead.
And then we'll all be dead because the cocktail.
They'll be like, is that the podcast where Pete Holmes was making fun of Alan Alda's Parkinson's?
Oh my God, yeah. They somehow squish those two things together and be like, Holmes taking shots. What? No,
What
I
is
did a
up
bad
with
impression
that
and then I found a
guy?
video and it was an unfortunate video.
First, he made fun of her because she was tall the minute she walked in the door, and it was all downhill from there.
If you're tall and you point out someone else's tallness, you can just assume they're going,
No, tall's always a compliment.
friend,
It's always a compliment.
friend, Frankenstein's monster. Is that something he also does?
No, that's just you and I seeing each other in a grocery store for the first time, and just because we're tall, we both sort of like.
Yeah. How tall is your husband?
5,
See?
10.
Yeah.
He's
Two
not
talls can't be
great.
together.
He's He's not crazy tall.
Go around looking like the number 11.
Right. What's the number 11? Am I right? What's the deal?
Is that your Alan Alda?
What? This is my Jerry Seinfeld.
If
What's
we're-
the deal with walking around looking like
Some
11?
couples look like 88.
This couple is looking like 11.
If you let things go too far, looks like 00.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, one night only. Pete Holmes as Alan Alda.
Then you got
Kerri
bad-
Kenney as Jerry Seinfeld. The most mediocre.
You got bad posture like a swan. You look like 22.
Come on, that's good.
A 2 does look like a swan. Mm-hmm. And a 3 is half an 8. Why is no one talking about it?
Why is no one talking about this?
W is W.
What's
it's 2
the deal
U's.
with that? It's too late to fix it. Although we fixed daylight savings, apparently. What, can't we fix the W?
Did we get rid of it?
a
We just
double
went
V.
through it. It is also a WV. If you're doing yours as
But
that,
if it's cursive, my son cannot read cursive. I have a 17-year-old kid. He can't read cursive. Anytime he gets a Christmas card
from an elder,
from the family, he can't read it.
there's got to be an app for that. Curso? Curso.
Are you feeling cursed? Yeah.
Tell me when you almost died.
Oh,
Have
it turns out I didn't almost die, but I thought I was. Do you remember? Okay, in the late 90s, I was on a date, and my chest started hurting, and I was like, "This is weird. This has never happened before. I'm 27 years old, whatever, but I am a smoker, and I'm, whatever."
That's the brief times in my life where I would
Yeah.
bum cigarettes. You'd feel something in your leg, and you're like,
Yeah,
"This is
This
it.
is it. This is it.
That's like
I'm
that's
the
what
one that's
the
going to go
Marlboro
this
Man
early.
never told you.
No.
Joe Camel never said like, "Enjoy my product." Also, anytime you feel something in your neck, you'll just be like, "This is it.
You're probably going to constantly think you're dying.
It's not worth it."
Right.
Okay.
But I felt that. I went back to my apartment. In the middle of the night, my left arm went numb. My chest hurt. I thought, oh, I'm actually having a heart attack. I called my mom, which of course, made her feel
Mom
great.
first call?
Always mom first call. Always.
Because you want to say, should I call 911?
Because it happened and then it ended. Oh. And I called her. I said, Mom, it's a Friday night, New York City. Do I go to the hospital?
Meaning there's going to be the jets.
I feel fine. What could this be? Do you mean the Jets? Like it's going to be
when
like,
you're a jet, you're a jet. Like there's going to be all the musical gang violence.
with
People are going to be going.
cigarettes, like
Yes, and a switchblade on their side being
Yeah.
like, "Oh, she's got chest pain. I got a switchblade in my gam."
yeah, see,
Yeah.
yes, that's why.
Yeah. You didn't want to go because it'll be busy.
Because of the Jets.
Isn't that a crazy consideration? You're like,
No, but
"It's
for
gonna be
real,
such a
this is
hassle."
New York City in
No
the
facts.
1990s, St. Vincent's Hospital on
Yeah.
a Friday night.
Yeah.
Like you could get killed going in the door.
Yeah. And luckily, you're at the
Right.
hospital.
Right. And you're already there.
It's actually
They just
it's the
zip
worst
you
and
up.
the best place to be.
So she said, actually, no, you wait until tomorrow. You call the doctor's emergency line. If you're feeling fine, honey, it sounds like you had a gas pain or you had a whatever pain because I was fine. Great. So I did. The next morning,
It'd be a tense night for your mom.
next-
Because now being a mom,
Totally.
she was just freestyling. She hangs up and
Totally.
then she was like, I hope that was the right
totally.
thing
And
to
honestly, I
say."
don't think it was next morning. I think it was a couple hours later, a few hours later. I was like, okay, now I'm probably having a panic attack. Anyway, I go to the hospital.
Oh, you do?
I go to the
Because
hospital.
it comes back.
St. Vincent's, it comes back. I go to the hospital. My mom comes in from Connecticut and
On a horse?
on a horse. She rides in on a horse
I need to go into the city.
with,
She says to the horse.
please, Charles. Charles, take me to the city,
The horse is named Charles.
to the hospital, please.
St. Vincent's, madam.
It seems my daughter is expiring. So they do some tests, right? And they sit me down and my mother down, and they say, it seems as though you have a tear in your aorta. We are going to admit you immediately for open heart surgery. So they call my father. He has a pager. He's like in Connecticut. He says, you don't open up my daughter till I get there. Meanwhile, he's calling around to like top heart surgeons in the city, blah, blah, blah. Luckily, they bought us some time. And I tell this story because it's actually kind of funny. Parts of this are funny. I said, Mom, call the state. And these are my brothers. So I'm like, time is weird in my memory, but I look up at one point and the whole state is standing there.
I would have loved to seen the phone call, but only from her side.
Yes.
Where she's just like, okay, yep, no, it's a funny riff.
Yeah.
It's a funny riff. Oh, nope, sorry, there's more of you. Okay, yeah, no, that's very good. That does sound like me. But, okay, hi, Mike. Okay. Oh.
Yep. Oh, other mic. Oh,
Yeah,
do I have all three mics? Okay.
Can I have
Yep.
Neil Brennan 3 mics, please?
Okay.
Okay, go on.
So, very long story short, they that year, Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent, had come to that hospital complaining of chest pains. They sent him home, and he died of a tear in his aorta.
I didn't know that. That was not in Tick, Tick, Boom.
So,
Super
little
sad.
trivia for you. So
They
they
send him
thought,
home.
oh my gosh, here's a 27-year-old. They did a CAT scan and they saw a shadow, and they did a heart monitor and they heard something, and they thought, oh my gosh, we're not going to lose another one to this. We caught it. We're going to do open heart surgery. They're writing on my chest. We're ready to go. The state is there. I'm like, I'm going to die.
Are we doing bits?
We're not doing bits.
Yeah.
Although actually lies. I was doing bits. At one point I did this bit where I go, and then I'd watch my heart rate go, and then I'd watch nurses run in. My mom was like, you can't do that.
Wait, you held your breath? That doesn't
Yeah.
stop your heart, though.
No, but I try and get I go like,
Oh, up.
and then watch my heart rate go, and then they'd come in like, is she?
No.
Because I felt fine
That's a hard bit.
doing bits to the end. You got to remember, this is
Bits
a
to
lady
the end.
who did miss pills. This lady does not mess around.
You're erasing your own
Bits
chart.
to the end.
Bits
I'm
to the
going
end.
down with the bits.
Go down with the bits.
So, because we waited for so long, this doctor comes in, he does a transepiphyseal cardiogram where they put a hose in your chest and they look at the back of your heart.
You mean down your throat?
Down your throat. And he's like, pull it out. I want to talk to the doctors. They go off in a corner. One nurse comes back and says, take some Tylenol, go home, come back in the morning. We'll do more tests to find out what was happening with you. It's not your heart. I had gallstones.
Gall. The gall.
The gall. The gall.
Where
of
do you get
these
gallstones?
stones.
In your chest?
No, when they're passing, it mimics heart attack. And the shadow that the thing they saw in the CAT scan was a shadow, and the heart monitor thing was just like a sloppy heart valve because I'm tall and skinny. And I went back in, had my gallbladder out like bing, bang, boom, no big deal. But so I wasn't about to die. But I
you sure
thought
thought you
I
were.
was about to die.
And when you thought you were about to die, super scary? Or did you just...
No, like full of love. I mean, it was,
Really?
yeah, it was, I was surrounded by everyone that I loved. And just total embarrassment afterwards of like, sorry, I just passing a stone.
Yeah. Speaking of, what did they do that on? It was an Apatow movie where someone just has gas. Or maybe it
Oh,
was
yes.
other people.
Was it in Knocked Up or was it in?
No, it was in something.
Yeah,
No,
I think I do. Yeah.
There's some movie where a woman... No, it was an episode of Louie.
Oh,
Scandal
okay.
noted.
Okay.
Scandal noted. I should just say
all
Shonda
the
Rhimes.
scandals. Just
Scandal Rhimes.
Sure.
Meaning the creator of Scandal. Have you ever seen a ghost? You seem like someone who's seen a ghost.
why do you say that?
I don't know.
take
You're
that as
from
an insult for some
Connecticut.
reason. You're from
I feel like you own
Connecticut.
nightgowns. You have candles.
Why?
You
All
walk
the
around
insults
going,
are just
"Mama?"
flying.
The horse, Charlie the horse goes by. Charlie horse. You
What about me says I wear nightgowns?
be Connecticut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, long, doily, kind of frilled at the edges. Long, like to the ankle.
Wow.
Like it's almost like wearing a sleeping bag.
Wow.
So you shimmy.
So I'm like Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, like Cindy Lou Who. I actually just
flippity-floppying
realized
around
I was picturing Cindy Lou Who this whole time.
That's more of a compliment.
Yeah, okay.
Then-
So you seem like a real Lou Who.
Right.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yoo-hoo.
I don't know why. Maybe I'll rephrase it.
Okay.
If you have, there's no one I'd rather hear about it from than you.
That's a nicer way of putting it.
Yeah.
You can't walk this back. I'm not I don't wear long
I can't shimmy it
nightgowns.
back?
I haven't seen a ghost. I feel like it's so boring, but I
What?
feel like my mom is like around, and I feel like it's a lot of bird stuff going on.
You still feel a connection to your mom.
Yes, but I haven't like seen her in her nightgown, like
Yes.
shimmying down the
Yes.
dark corridor.
Yes.
But this is the thing. People say to me like, has your mom visited you or have you? I go, you know what? I think my mom knows that I would lose my shit. So I think she's probably like hanging back because it's not for me. I don't need that.
Right.
No-
It's like
no, thank
your
you.
mom is looking at a Netflix for the afterlife.
Yes.
And there's her daughter, but then it says warning.
Yeah, no,
she's
thank
gonna
you.
She's going to lose
No,
her shit.
thank you to the ghosts.
So she's just not doing that.
No.
I don't think that's that weird, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sort of the opinion that there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also I'm of the
God,
opinion
that sounds really depressing.
oh no, I mean, maybe this is too weird. I think everything's
Yeah.
happening all at once.
Yeah.
So I think like
okay,
literally
yeah.
we lose people, but they're still
Yeah.
here because this is too weird for me. I don't know. We're having such a nice chat. I don't want
Yeah.
to go too weird. I don't want you to think it's weird.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it's weird at all. And I love to hear other opinions like that. And I think it is because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. I wouldn't say like sense of mortality and it's not that heavy.
Yeah.
But it does. I never really thought about these things. Like really thought about them.
For
when
sure.
you're younger, you're like, we're driving too fast with the lights off and I'm high as a kite. I'm just kidding. I've got a hooker in the trunk. You do that every Saturday.
You did tell a story. I heard a story.
Every Saturday.
We'll get to
What?
mortality that you stole a car, but somebody was in the car.
Wait, what?
I heard a story that you stole a car and somebody was in the car, unless it was a bit.
Oh,
in
it
which
was a
case I'm
bit.
embarrassed.
Oh, it was a bit.
You're such a good this isn't just because I'm embarrassed
Okay.
that I fell for it, but you said it really convincingly.
Well, I get paid for that.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not today.
Enough. Not today. Oh, is this not? We'll talk about it.
You walk out.
Yeah.
Go.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Well, we're talking about mortality because and the end of the podcast is we do talk about a little bit about the meaning of life. But
Yeah.
let's take our pressure hats off and just say, just today.
Yes.
Not the whole thing. We won't have to figure it out. Just how are you feeling about it today? Mortality, origin of life. Is there any sort of God is such a complicated word, but do you have
Right.
any framework for the universe? Random, benevolent,
I kind
malevolent?
of feel like the more time goes on, the less I know. And I hate sayings like that, but I don't mean it to be a saying. I really do. I think I expected that with adulthood and maturity, and by that I just mean years,
Yeah.
would come a calm or an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But that has not happened for me. And I feel like what's happened is more questions. And I think that's just because by nature I'm closer to it. I mean, I would hope that I have a long way to go, but I think it's because I never really put my mind to it as a younger person. And as I've gotten older, now I think, what is that going to look like? And I think it's having lost a parent too and having been there for it.
Your mom too.
Yes.
I remember somebody was like, your mom is the doorway into reality. So when,
Yes.
if you walk through a door into a weird universe and then the door, I'm not trying to make you sad. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
no,
we all
not
have
at
to go
all,
through it.
not at all.
The door vanishes and you're like,
Yes.
that's how I came in.
Yes.
That's like a weird
Yes, 100%. That's a
sensation.
beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And look, it's universal.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to happen. I hate to say that, I don't say that to people who've lost a parent. Like, it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, hey, dingus.
But it is.
Yeah.
It's
Nope.
supposed to happen. And that definitely opens up a thing of like, oh, okay, that's going to happen at some point.
And that's a gift too from your mom.
Yes,
Honestly,
yes.
is like
Well, there's a
whether or not she
safety now on
intended
the
to
other
it.
side too.
Also, someone
Which I
waiting
never
for you,
thought.
that feeling.
I never thought before.
Yeah.
It's not. There's not an abyss anymore. There's something maybe there.
Kerri, you know what I've been trying to make funny, which I can't. I
Yeah.
think I'm going to say it really quickly because when I try to say it, I say it too
Okay.
long.
Okay.
The Big Bang Theory says, and by measuring radiation, there was a singularity that erupted out of nothing. And then when we die, we go into nothing. But we seem to think that nothing is the end. But the nothing of the Big Bang was the beginning. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it's the same nothing, which isn't empty space. It's zero. It's incomprehensible. Like we can't picture it. We can't even prove it.
Yes.
Like there's no evidence of nothing in the universe. It's kind of like zero. It's a theory.
Yes.
It's not a theory. There's evidence of its effects.
Right.
So you die, you go into nothing, and we're all like, it's the end. And I'm like, except when it was the beginning.
That's right.
So it's the same people that will tell you, be afraid, like a materialist. And I'm not
Right.
saying that looking down my nose. I'm saying a non-spiritual person says, when you die, you go into nothing and it's over. Will also tell you in the same conversation that nothing was the beginning.
Right.
So it's the
So
end
who's
except
to
when it's
say?
the beginning, and it's nothing except when it's everything.
Right.
Everything.
Well, my feeling about it is this. We can't know. Nobody knows. If someone says they know, they don't know.
Yes.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Therefore, why not just choose to believe that whatever it is a good thing?
Yeah.
Because at the point, you can be waiting in line to see a show, and you can be thinking, this is going to be a bad show. This show's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad show. We're going to pay all this money. It's a bad show. Why are we wasting time? It's a bad show. You
And
go
then it
in,
is.
and the show's bad. Okay, well, you just wasted the whole time in line saying this is going to be bad.
That's right.
If we keep saying, or if I say, oh, this isn't going to be good, what's on the other side? Oh, this is going to be scary, this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what's going to happen next or not happen next. So why not spend this time saying, maybe it's okay, maybe it's nothing to be afraid of, maybe this is,
I will say.
everything's going to be okay.
because
I'm
you
more worried
mentioned
about
it.
who you leave.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful.
As a parent, you
That's
can't
a
help but
deeply
not feel
loving
that way.
Thing, for sure.
Yeah.
I will say, without getting all into it, I happen to love this stuff, and I've got to, let's just say it this way, the most simple way I can say it. All of the masters that I love, that you just get that intuitive sense, like this person has experienced something and they're sharing it. They would all agree that there's nothing to worry about.
Right.
As Richard Rohr says, all the mystics meet a lover, not a tormentor.
Right.
Like that's an authentic God experiences when you meet. And I'm going to actually bring it a little bit down to earth, is that when you are calm, it might be after a cigarette when you were young, it might be after sex, it might be after sleep or a good meal, or you're looking at that lake, you're shooting Wanderlust. When you are reduced to a thoughtless point of awareness, when you investigate that awareness, it's actually more, it's not just a blank slate. It's not just nothing. You're not just a computer that with no impetus, you're sitting there
Right.
doing nothing. Your resting state, when examined, and you're not thinking about your life situation, isn't just blank, it's actually joyful. It's actually
Right,
blissful.
right.
It's actually loving.
Right.
And if you don't, I'm not saying you, if you don't believe me, I would recommend doing some breath work.
Right.
Breath
Some
exercises,
meditation.
some meditation.
Sure.
Not just for the discipline of it, but to actually experience your true nature. I'll explain it real quick, just in case this is the first episode anyone's listened to. Val and I, my wife and I, talk about this on Friday. There's a type of breath work you can lay down, just put on some music and do this for 20 minutes. You breathe in your stomach like that. And then the second part you're breathing into your chest is more like a yawn. It's like, so it's a really, when you start doing that, you realize you've never taken a deep breath before.
Right.
You're always just doing it wrong.
Right.
So it's 1, 2, do that for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
20 minutes. At the end of it, you will love everyone.
Yeah.
And it's not just because you're high. I actually think it quells those thoughts that say, Kerry, you're not good enough. Kerry, God is mad at you.
Right.
Your dad is mad at you. The world is mad at you. The earth is mad at you. The universe is mad at you. You dissolve your thoughts and you get into that state. And that isn't, you don't have to take someone else's word for it. You can go, that is a very good clue that the irreducible nature of all things
Comes
was
down to
more
that.
like that space.
Right.
And less like all of the neuroses that
Right.
you'd be inhuman to not have them. Of course, you're like, I'm a bad boy, I'm
Right.
evil, I'm wrong, I'm ugly, I'm a reject or whatever. But when you shut your brain off, what's left is often very clear. And look, I don't know, but for us today, because I have death anxiety as well. For us today, I'm like, I'm pretty sure death is a return to that
Right.
place, not shooting there, not shooting there. It's more of a, I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suspect it is. And also, if it isn't, there's nothing we can
No
do
loss.
about it anyway. I mean, if it does come down to that moment and we're in like a fiery hellfire, it's like,
God.
well, there's nothing to prepare
Yeah.
anyway.
You just go, I did my best.
Oh, I did my best. Where are you going?
Well, the concept of hell is so psychologically obvious to me that like Freudian, like Freud was onto this, unconscious guilt.
Yeah.
I've been looking at A Course in Miracles. They address
Yes.
that too, unconscious guilt. I'm like, it is there.
Right.
Like we all, somewhere in an undiscussed part of our psyche, feel like we're lost in the woods
Right.
with a broken leg and there's wolves after us.
Right.
Like, and no one talks about it.
Right.
But we're just dealing with that. And of course, that experience leads to talking about a God that hates us, that hates everything you've ever done.
Right.
That you smoked cigarettes or whatever you did, that you stole that car that you didn't really steal.
I gotta know where that came
Comedy
from.
said it was a video online. Usually I just type the person's name into YouTube.
I know what this is. This was this was press
Yeah.
for
Reno 911
our
coming
last
to
season
Quibs.
not on Quibs, but God, I love you say Quibs. My son makes fun of me all the time. He goes, we're in the grocery store. He's like, I think somebody recognizes Kerri Kenney from Quibi. I'm like,
That is a great
stop
bit. How old is he?
17.
That's good stuff.
That's his way of
Seal of approval.
putting me down to my lowest common denominator.
That's, but you can't hate him. I mean, it's the low-hanging Quibi on the tree.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my point was.
We were just saying, I'll get there. I'm the host.
Yes.
Oh, man. We're talking about there being nothing to be afraid of.
Yes.
I was saying guilt, unconscious guilt.
Oh, yes.
Then we make a God that mirrors us. We make God in
Right.
our image instead of
I do
the other
find
way
it
around.
really funny that we walk around, I don't know if funny is the right word, but we walk around with these like computers and these fucking busy, punishing,
Yes.
unstoppable, like even in our dreams, we can't get a break.
Yes.
These deciding, I'm making see that there's a candle on this, here's the temperature and the blah, 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 blah,
What am I going to have for lunch?
blah,
Yeah.
just all of it.
Yes.
And I do suspect, because when I do meditation or when I've found that place in, church with my family or synagogue with my husband and son, or any of these places where I find those moments, I do believe that you're right, that's the true essence, that's the true.
The other stuff is static on the radio.
It's all static on the radio. That's a great way to put it.
The song isn't coming in
and
clear
I
'cause
suspect
Yeah.
that it will be some sort of turning of the knob where the static
Listen.
goes away.
What? Okay. I have to say this with respect because I believed that there was a God that wanted to torment you. So I don't want to put down that belief.
Right.
If that's your belief.
I grew up Methodist, so
Yeah.
we didn't really have all that.
Okay.
It was very
Little bit better.
very different.
God bless
Or maybe
the
I just wasn't paying
Jesuits.
attention.
Yeah, you weren't there that 1 week. All right, Kerry's not here.
Let's do the
talk
hell.
about the lake of blood or whatever it is. So I don't want to be dismissive. I just want to say it does. You know what I equate it to? On Twitter or Instagram, they'll do like the Draw Shrek challenge or
Right,
something.
right.
Or Draw Gonzo
Yeah.
from the Muppets. And people post,
I don't
like
know
without
why you
looking
just pointed
at it.
to me when you said draw Gonzo, but go ahead. Or, like drop Gonzo.
Gonzo.
For example, Gonzo.
Never. How dare you? I didn't like when you said I'm not the pretty girl earlier. I almost stopped you, but I was like, she's making a point. Let's sit this one
That's
out.
a good point.
No, stop it. I feel like I just wish I could be a stereotypical gay male sidekick sometimes and just be like, you're gorgeous.
You are a
Stop it.
very
You know what I mean?
stereotypical gay man.
That's what I've always said.
Completely.
Like a sidekick on Sex and the City.
Right.
What was it? Oh, so that when people have to draw Gonzo or Shrek
Yes.
by memory,
Right.
and it's
Oh, yes.
terrible.
Terrible.
And they're so funny.
Yeah.
I think spiritual reality, I know this sounds a little bit
Yeah.
nuts, is like that. You can't draw Shrek from memory, but you can look at 500 of them and know they're wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you see real Shrek, you go, that's Shrek.
Right.
And when you talk about a God who made you to test you to then punish you eternally,
Yes.
I go, that looks like a bad Shrek to me.
yeah.
Or as Father Greg Boyle would say, wrong God.
Yeah.
He was wrong God.
It sounds made up.
It
to
sounds
me.
derived from fear. It's
Yeah.
a fear choice. And I relate.
Right.
And I get that there's even a perverse, I don't want to say perverse, but a pleasure
Yes.
in being like, I'm a naughty boy.
Yes.
And we're all naughty boys. It's also scapegoating, especially if you think other people are going to hell and you're not, you can go, the guilt's over there.
Right. My side of the street is clean.
That's right.
I believe that we are, aside from whatever sort of mystical dust or, part of the Big Bang,
Yes.
all of those things. I think more than anything, we are the stories that people tell about us once we're gone. So I made it a point with my son. I have one child. It's my mother's only grandchild. So I talk about her a lot. And I once said to him, in case you're wondering why mommy talks about Grandy all the time, it's because we are the only way she stays alive, right?
Yeah.
She's only got her sister who's still alive, and that's it, and me and my son.
That's interesting. I'm also going to join in and say that also genetically, like your son or half of your son was in your mother's womb.
Yes, right.
You already know this fact.
Right.
Because
You're
all of your
born
eggs
with
are
all
in
your
the-
eggs, yes,
So
which
that
is
means
crazy when
you're-
you look at your baby girl.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, my daughter was inside my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And that
Is
is really
hot.
It's really hot.
I just ruined everything.
You didn't. It's a challenge to not have the meaning of life section be too serious. So I applaud and I award you a Quibi for that riff.
Listen, I was nominated for the last year of Cable Ace Awards too. So I am just across the
wow.
board losing all the things.
Can you please in your house
Yes.
have like a shelf where like as you first walk in you go, it's my cable choice or whatever it is.
I have
Ace
my
Award.
my Emmy nomination certificates, all 5 of them, which are basically they might as well be like
Runner-up.
you lost,
Yeah.
you lost,
Yeah.
you lost, you lost. So I laugh at them. They're in my office.
That's great.
Not laugh
though.
at them. It's an honor.
I wish I had my Second City rejection letter.
But
not
Tom-
that they'd be begging for me now. I'm just saying like it was nice that I didn't quit. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all it is.
I got rid of it years ago, and I really wish I hadn't. But Tom Lennon, Ben Grant, and Michael Ian Black made for me a Cable Ace Award out of spray painted macaroni the year that I lost to
Love.
Sandra Oh. Yes.
And they haven't stopped crank calling Sandro.
Yeah.
For
They sent me
years.
faxes from the desk of Sandra Oh in our office. So we're, doing Viva Variety, and I kept getting, they're like, another fax for you. And it said, from the desk of Sandra Oh, you're a terrible actress. From the desk of Sandra Oh, you should give it up now. From the, so good.
Oh my God.
So good.
Oh my God. Love it. Need it.
Obviously not from the real desk of Sandra Oh.
Nobody thought.
Okay.
Nobody thought.
Because that would be terrible.
Nobody thought. Sandra's a friend.
Okay.
I wish she was. This was delight. Here's the fine. I'm just not even finishing my words anymore. Here's the final question.
Yes. Okay.
Seriously, have you seen a ghost? I'm just kidding.
Seriously. Did you murder someone? Are they in the trunk of your car? Okay.
No.
Because the cops are here, and
That would be the best way to end it, like cheaters.
Gonk, gonk, gonk.
See, that's why the hell god is also why we love public trials,
right.
catching things,
Judge Judy.
cheaters, Judge Judy. We love it.
Yeah.
Because as long as the guilt is out there,
Sure.
you don't have to look at your own shame.
Well, it's all that stuff, that TikTok stuff of like outing people.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, it's good to keep
But it's-
community watch, but
for sure.
there is some joy, some endorphin rush going for people of the
Keeping
ha ha ha.
people from hurting other people is very different from going, oh, good, we got that cheater.
Yeah.
But not looking at how am I cheating? I don't cheat
Right.
on my wife, but like, how am I being dishonest?
Right.
But instead I go, like, at least I'm not that guy getting,
Right, of course, of course.
Welcome back to Dr. Phil.
Welcome
Jesus
back,
Christ.
Cotter, I
Jesus.
think we're all
Welcome
thinking.
back, Cotter. Here's Dr. Phil.
Right.
You know he was the original Cotter? I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. It's the best
Cotter.
crossover ever. Cotter.
He ate a lot of cod, right?
But that doesn't sound right, does it anymore? Cotter. You're too young for Welcome Back, Cotter. Yes.
I remember Welcome Back, Cotter. Travolta, right?
Welcome
Up your nose with a
back.
rubber hose?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Up your nose with a rubber hose. Did
Yeah.
you have a T-shirt?
No, I just had a nose up my hose. Fuck.
Oh.
Fuck.
We can do it again. We can
No,
do
I
it
just
again.
had
Should
a
I
rubber
come in
nose up.
again?
Yeah, let's start over.
Okay.
But do give me take 2.
Okay.
Did you have the t-shirt?
I didn't.
No, you say that to me.
Oh.
See, I just fooled you with my good acting. You say, I'll say up your nose with a rubber hose, then you say, did you have the t-shirt? Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Did you have the t-shirt?
No, I just had a rubber nose at my hose.
Okay. How many more? You know what? We have lunch. Can we push lunch?
Okay.
Okay, we're in penalty. We're in penalty.
We'll go.
Get it. We'll
Keep
get it.
rolling.
We'll get it.
No,
we cut.
Tail slate.
We already cut. Shit. I know, we're losing light. It's fine. We'll do it fixing it.
I'll do it as Alan Alda. And Here's the final question.
Okay.
Can you tell me, and I always say the same thing. It doesn't have to be a great story. So this is not a pressure moment.
Well, great.
Yes.
You've come to the right lady.
Just think of a time in your life, maybe the time you laughed the hardest you've ever laughed in your life.
Okay.
But does it come up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yes. I think a lot, I don't know if anyone on this couch has ever said this before. If you've had other state members, I know you had Michael Showalter.
Wayne.
David Wayne.
I had Mike Black.
Okay, why am I last? Why am I? Okay, anyway, we don't have to get into that. No, it's been.
I've never had.
There's 30 of us, and I'm okay. Good. Well, fine.
And who else are we forgetting?
Michael Black, Michael Showalter,
David Wayne,
Michael Jan, David Wayne.
I haven't had Michael
Ken
Jan.
Marino,
I had Ken Marino.
Kevin Allison.
I haven't had Kevin Allison.
Todd Hollebeck, who started the group. He lives
didn't.
in South Korea. Good luck getting him. Although he might fly out here.
It's not North Korea.
It's true. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. David Wayne. Whatever.
Whoever you're forgetting.
Whatever.
Let's
Quit
just be honest.
complaining,
They were
guys.
the
There's
worst.
11 of us.
Okay.
Quit complaining about it. There's 3 Michaels. What the hell was my
hardest
point?
laughter
Oh, we were doing a shoot in New Jersey, I think, because we used to shoot on location, half on in a studio. We were doing a location shoot, and it was very bare bones. I'm sure you could tell. We did the props.
I was 13.
We did
I
everything.
was like, wow,
Okay.
it's on TV.
Well, that's how we felt
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And we made $4, and we traveled around in a passenger van, and like with my mom's clothes were the costumes for the ladies, and
Wow.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like we're putting on a show in a
Of
barn
course.
kind of vibe.
Yes.
And we had been shooting for, I want to say, 30 hours one day. That's accurate. And we were exhausted. I feel like covered in mud for some reason. And we had stopped at a roadside, like, Greek diner or something like that in Jersey on our way back to the city. And it just was a horrible experience. Like none of the orders were right. Everybody was starving. The bathroom was out of order. It's just like everything was wrong, and we were over it. Mm-hmm. And we got in the van, and everyone's chain smoking. And I remember Tom threw a cigarette out the front window, and David Wayne was sitting like this with his knees up on the
Dash.
Like the seat in front of him, his knees are, and he's wearing like little like runner's shorts, and the cigarette went out the window and traveled down the back of the van, in the window, and right into David's shorts. It was just like, it was one of those nights where you're just like, fuck. And I just remember we got back in the van, somebody just started yelling, and some joined in. We all joined in, and it was I want to say a 30-minute cathartic
Primal scream.
Yeah. Primal scream. Like, you could have heard that van coming. You would have been like, what the Scooby-Doo. We yelled till our throats were yell, and then laughing, like peeing ourselves, just laughing.
Space Mountaining?
Space Mountaining. It was the most cathartic.
Yes.
Like, I felt like whatever, 23 years of junk that had piled up, the drain was opened and cleaned and flushed. And I will never, and I've been, like a junkie, you've
been chasing it. Yeah.
You can't make that happen.
Nope. You need the backlog. You need all the frustration to justify it and motivate and empower it. And then when it happens, the release
But
is so
then
great.
also imagine 10 male voices who are your brothers, that sound and the I'll just never forget it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like I was there.
Yeah, you might have been there. There was a lot of white men. You might have been one. I think you were one. You were great in that one sketch about the
Oh my
dog.
God. If I could have just walked by in my rayon shirt.
Well, you were 13. It might have been odd.
Yeah, it would have been weird.
Yeah.
What's he? In SAG rules, you guys are working 30-hour days? I don't think I could have been there. I'm not going to tell the whole story because I've told it before, but sometimes my opener and I would yell in the car. Just like too many shows.
You on purpose, like you'd
like
plan
a primal
it.
scream. Like,
But you would say like,
we did
as an
the song
exercise.
from the Listerine commercials. So we go, oh, and we would weep with laughter. Just too many planes.
Yeah.
Too many clubs, too many planes.
yeah, too much having to follow the rules.
That was me and Chris Thayer, yeah.
Yeah,
I called him my opener.
yeah.
My errand boy.
I can, yes.
It's the best.
It's the best. I
and
did
it
in my
made
car.
all the I've tried it since then.
I yelled in my car a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Out of like, it was like a sitcom exasperate. I hung up the phone. Someone was bugging me and I hung up the phone and I did, ah!
The best. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
It's a little isolated chamber on wheels.
Yeah.
The new Ford Fury. Actually, that is a sketch that I've always wanted to do. It's called The Polite Phone. Me and Oren Brimmer, my creative partner, we wrote it together. And it's a phone that translates what you want, like, into something polite. So you're like, I'll be there when I fucking be there, honey. And it goes, I'm so sorry, my love. I'm running a bit late. Please keep dinner. Have dinner without me. Like, it's the AT&T Polite Phone.
That's great.
People
I
would
feel
like
like
that.
that's an app away.
Yeah, well, we have it already. I have a thing, and we'll wrap up here, but like I have a thing where I do sometimes go back in my emails and add the pleases and thank yous. I'll go like, if we could have the electrician be there tomorrow, that would be great. Like it's still a polite
Oh, but
sentence.
not after you send it.
No, not after I send it. And then I go like, oh, if we could please have the electrician
sure.
be there. Those are easy ones to forget because you're
yeah.
ending on that would be great. That sounds positive. But you're like, don't forget to say please. And then
I do too many exclamation points. That's the thing. Like on
Did you
this,
see the
like,
emails I wrote you?
we're-
Hey, Kerry!
I know. That's how I knew I would love
How are
you.
you?
I
So
knew-
good to see you. So thrilled. Smiley emoji.
I knew we were
Couldn't-
cut from the same cloth.
Me too.
Immediately.
Me too. Samesies.
Immediately.
And when you wrote the email and then you immediately were like, hey, forget it. I was like, this is my jam. This is my jam. You'd like my wife too. She's very much like that.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
she's
Well,
exciting.
I need to learn how to just let it ride. But
like you
you
don't.
notice it. I thought it was inherently female, but now I know that it isn't. But the
Certainly
reason
not.
is because I look at the state text thread, and so every day someone, the guys will write something, and like of course Michael Black can write a joke, and it just let it sit. Just let it sit. But then I have to write like, ha ha,
Yeah, of course.
like Groucho Marx mustache guy.
Yes.
Ha ha, exclamation
Yes.
point, just kidding.
And on a group thread, don't do the hold the text and select haha, because then it just goes, Kerri Kenney laughed at a text.
I know,
You
then
what
it
I mean?
just says it.
Sometimes I'll just write that. I'll
I
write
did
Pete
it
Holmes
this
laughed at a
morning.
text. But I'll write out Pete Holmes laughed at a text.
That's so good. I'm stealing that. I am stealing
Or
that.
you can add like
I'm
laugh
doing
really
that
hard.
today.
It's a good bit. Solid bit.
You can only do it once.
You ever leave a typo in a text just to show them that you don't really care?
No, that's deep.
That one time I was texting somebody and I was like, I just wish this person and I could text
you just wanted-
less. So I had misspelled something and I was like,
Just left it.
I'm gonna leave it.
You didn't asterisk
nope.
taco.
No, and I didn't do it. Asterisk taco. Asterisk taco
Not yeah.
is my Hulu password.
I did not asterisk ducking.
Ducking. iPhones, please.
Please, guys.
Just let us say fucking.
makes me feel like I'm dirty.
Also, can we? Yes, it does. It's like the minister in your phone.
That would be a good one to text fucking and then write asterisk ducking. I meant, are you going to meet me at the
I didn't
ducking
bump
restaurant?
my head. Yeah. Solid text bit.
Mm-hmm.
Asterisk ducking. My favorite is when you try to correct it, but it keeps doing it. Because mine is weird.
Those are the best. That's such a dad move.
Oh,
My-
yeah.
you could see my dad's
Can I?
frustration build and build and build in the cutest way.
Totally. Is this inaccurate? I'll ask you and Katie.
Yeah.
Old people love replying K, the letter K.
No,
Okay.
not my dad.
All right. Well, your dad's
Were you
fucking
asking because
cool.
we're
He's-
old?
No.
Because Katie is so ancient.
No, I'm saying because both my mom and my dad do it.
They write K, just the letter K.
Just the letter K.
No,
K.
mm-mm.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to prove it. There are thousands of people that are like, yes, like yelling at their.
Yeah, no, not my, no. My
there are
dad's a great
thousands that are
texter.
agreeing with you too.
We're on a family text thread every day, and
Wow.
they're great. my family's amazing.
I get that feeling.
Yeah.
They're
good peeps. We're a fun bunch.
Must be nice. I'm just kidding. I'm just,
Come on over. No one will know.
I mean, just
You
another
fit right
tall
in.
guy.
You're tall. Just another tall,
only
pasty
Cocoa
dude.
Puffs. Can I say Cocoa Puffs? The first time I had them, I was like, these could be sweeter. Like if you have Cocoa
okay.
Pebbles and then you go to Cocoa Puffs,
Sure.
you're like,
Oh,
Cocoa
sure.
Pebbles
Yeah,
is
yeah.
more of a milk chocolate.
For sure.
Cocoa is like old people being like, have some kicks and
taste a
sprinkle on just raw cacao powder.
Dry taste cocoa? There's not a hint of cocoa.
It's a mild cereal.
Is it hazelnut that I'm tasting? No, I know what it is. It's cocoa.
It's the only subtle cereal. Is that cocoa? I'm just doing your bit.
Actually, the next commercial is, I'm cooking for Cocoa Puffs, the only subtle cereal.
From the least subtle mascot. Finally, something for your palate.
I like something that's a little subtle.
I'm cuckoo for mouthfeel. Huh? Anywho, I bet if I had them now, I'd be like, this is the sweetest thing I've ever tasted.
Well, you would go into like a diabetic coma.
for sure.
Probably
and
as an
I'd
adult.
I was going to say I'd call your mom, but your mom is.
Do it.
Well, I'd call.
And if she comes back as a ghost, don't tell me because I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to say this for the record. If your mom wants to tell me something to
Dude,
tell you,
what if
it won't
tonight?
scare me.
What if tonight my mom's like, "Ooh,
Don't tell me anything about her.
okay."
Because if I'm like, your mom said something and you start to cry immediately, and I'm like, Cheryl said, and you're like, it's not fucking Cheryl.
Sharon.
Sharon?
Her face.
It pushes
By the
out
way,
of
she had the
cloth.
best sense of humor.
I
She would
believe
love
it.
this. She
no
would
part
love
of
this.
me was like, I better not.
This
riff
is her.
on
She's
this.
she goes. Well, you've met Trudy Weigel.
That's right.
Enough said.
NS.
That's my mom.
You're doing your mom?
A little bit, just a tiniest bit. The innocent, sweet part of her. Just the tiniest
Ed.
bit.
Then a third way she lives on.
The tiniest bit.
In your son, in you,
Yes.
in memory, in Trudy.
A little bit. Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
All right, let's go.
Are we going?
No, we're out of here.
Oh,
Going where?
I don't know. I got excited.
I just feel like this is the right time to end.
Yes.
We're gonna ask. Would you say it used to be up there? Keep it crispy is just the sign
Yes.
off. Would
Yes.
you say keep it crispy?
I would like to say something to you, and that is this. I'm going to need you to keep it crispy.
It's one of the things you riffed on 911 is you're like, talking about your baby. You were like, if this was a watermelon, it would be $11.
Did I say
Talking
that?
about how heavy it is.
Well, this is the beauty.
if this was a watermelon, it would be $11.
We did the pilot for Reno in the year 2000. It is now 2022. So we have been, it's
You're
been a
still
while.
thinking about how you made that mistake twice. I
Yeah.
watched you
No,
consider like,
you know what it was?
why can't I
You know
remember?
what it was? Because we did a joke yesterday. My husband and I were doing a joke where we were writing, forget it. It's so not funny. But anyway, yes. I was wondering that, and then I remembered that that's why I did it. Anyway, I am high on mushrooms in life.
I'm high on shrooms in life. I'm high on life and shrooms.
I'm getting that for your baby.
Yeah.
I'm getting a shirt. I'm high on shrooms in
All
life.
babies are on shrooms. That's why I was such a good dad.
I
Because
know.
I've trip sat people. You got to put on good music, keep
Right.
them light, keep them
Sure.
comfy, get them water every once in
Sure.
a while. Same.
Sure.
My buddy Travis and my baby, same thing.
Right. Same thing.
Need it.
Dose them up.
All right. The end.
You made it weird. You made it weird.